With a new year, here comes another amazing championship. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the AMD Game On 2024 presents the Arena Championship Valorant by Comic Con India and the Esports Club powered by Alienware. before we move forward in the show, I would like to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors as well. Gaming PC partner Elite Hub and Zotac Gaming. Retail partner is going to be Bajaj Electronics. Gaming chair partner CyberArt, and connectivity partner is going to be ACT FiberNet. Thank you so very much for making this possible. Now, on the desk, you're going to have me, Scared Yet, and alongside me, one of the most amazing and most talented, Darshita. How are you doing and how excited are you for this tournament?
Oh, well, come on. The excitement is just top notch today. And also the fact that after the new year, this is the first tournament that we are talking about. So I'm really very excited to see on what is going to happen today. And also, the excitement level keeps on increasing when we talk about the teams, right? Because this time over, we have all the young guns lined up. We have seen the teams, we have seen all the teams have qualified from the round of 16 to the quarterfinals. So it's going to be very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I have been thinking for a while now as to how this eventual tournament is going to pan out, and honestly seeing so many amazing names of different teams out there, seeing how well the community has been growing and how well things have been going for now, as to seeing some experienced players and also the new players coming in, joining in the group. I want to see how this one specific tournament is going to give us some amazing performances from different teams. But we're going to have a quick look as to why this all is happening, what are they all fighting for, because we will be looking at the prize pool, and it's going to be a massive prize pool of 3 lakh INR, with the first place receiving 1 lakh 50,000 and second place receiving 1 lakh.
Oh, yeah, definitely second place, 1 lakh. But you know what? The team which comes on the third position, we are not forgetting you at all. You guys are going to get rewarded with 50,000 INR. So it's going to be really, really amazing because, see, the prize pool is really high, but alongside that, it's the fight for the land. It's the spot for the land that everyone is looking forward to. Everyone wants to be there at the venue, fight in front of the audience in the venue itself, and make it more and more intense. So who you guys are rooting for is the very first question, because today both of the teams seems to be really prepared. We have diversity going up against the sides of Slay Them With Respect, if I'm not wrong. And according to what we know, there have been a lot of shuffles in terms of the teams as well. If I talk about the team Slay Them With Respect, we have all the 5 good players. We have Rio, we have Gorang, we have Bad Love, Chris, and alongside that, Buster. But we know about Gorang, right? He used to play with Team Respect before, and now he's playing from the team Slay Them With Respect. This is just so interesting.
I mean, just the name games out there being done right, and since you also mentioned about the players being experienced, having the idea of how these tournaments play out and what to do in those crucial situations, that is going to be the key for all of these teams out there. And very well mentioned about the player Bad Love as well, because we have been discussing how he's mostly playing on the duelist and how well he fulfilled those shoes, how well he fulfilled those roles. And honestly, if we are talking about the specific team matchups, right, I think so, just because of the way how Slay Them With Respect, they've got a couple of players who can flex onto their roles. It gives you a lot more room to work with, and you have an opportunity to try multiple different compositions with your team.
Yeah, that's gonna be so true. Honestly, if I talk about Rio right now from the sides of Slay Them With Respect, he is known to be one of the best young IGLs in the scenes right now. We have seen him, and today he's gonna IGL the sides of Team Slay Them With Respect. On the other side, if I talk about Team Diversity, I have seen them perform prior as well, but I'm not really sure on what the matchup is going to be like between both of these teams, because once again, if I talk about a team, Slay Them With Respect, they have Buster, who is a very experienced player. If I talk about Gorang, his role onto, the controller or the smoker, he is just way too strong on it. So expecting a lot, but let's just quickly have a look on the maps as well. I mean, yeah, that's where that's where all the actions unfold, right? What maps are we going to see? Oh my goodness.
All right. So not normally, not normally what you would kind of expect though, but I wanted to see the Icebox as well, seeing how the map is back in the pool, and with those few changes, I'm still quite unsure as to how all the teams are going to take those changes in, because it seems that most of them still going for those previous executes that used to happen on that map. But talking about the map Bind and Breeze itself, yes, we're going to touch Split later. Bind, we know how quick those rotations are, especially from the side of attackers, and how teams kinda avoid picking up any sentinel on that map. And with the buffs and changes on Cypher in the past few months, he has basically become a nail that you always need to have in order to put that in the coffin of your opponent. So I think so picking
Yeah.
off Cypher in Bind could help you out, but maybe even the triple smoke composition. What do you think about that?
There can be a lot, man. Come on. Looking at what the map veto is like. So, here's something I would really like to share. Before going to the match itself, I was just quickly having a word with the sides of teams, lay them with respect. And they were kind of
Hmm.
looking forward to play Lotus and Split. But guess what? The initial ban that comes up from the sides of diversity, it's the map of Lotus. So, one aspect is already out of the picture. Now it goes down to the second, aim that they had was the map of Split itself, and the first map to be played
Hmm.
is going to be the map of Split, but the pick is coming from the sides of team diversity. So this says that both of the teams are really prepared for the map of Split, but again, after that is the map of Bind itself. Really quick question for you: do you expect a Viper in the map of Bind? Because we have seen that meta happening before, right? So are you expecting that again?
You're asking that from Viper main himself. And yes, I do expect a Viper being picked up because those walls that go through the TP, it gives you so much space that you can cover and also gives you space to take away from your opponent, especially the one that you actually start in the B hookah. It ends up going outside the A shower. So you have got that entire A showers control, and basically the teams would need to use some kind of utility to try and push you back from that space. And making sure that your enemy is using those extra utilities to not gain a lot of space, just a little bit on the map, is exactly the aim for, in that macro advantage. That's one thing that I kind of feel. But honestly, since you've already touched up the point of smokes, I think so picking up Omen or a Brimstone as well on the map of Wind, it's what teams kind of normally go with. With the
Yeah.
shrouded step, you can stand in those off angle positions, and also with Brimstone, those three smokes which you normally put forward on the side and going for the execute, plus with the orbital strike and incendiary, you've got some amazing lineups on the table. But I think so that in for the form of Sentinel, we've seen two major Sentinels being picked up on Bind itself. One is Killjoy, the second is Cypher. But since the
Yeah.
Killjoy's turret has been nerfed a little bit now, it will not give you as much value as it used to give. So, do you think that teams might switch things back up to picking Sage to block off some part with the barrier, or?
Honestly, if I talk about the map of Split, that's the only point where I expect a
Mhm.
Sage to come into play. But rather than that, confused. I mean, I'm not really sure if we might see a Sage coming up by either of the teams. Also about the nerfs and the buffs coming up in the entirety of this game itself, and the changes in the map of
Mhm.
Icebox. My goodness, back then I was just so happy to hear that Icebox is coming back. Yes, I was heartbroken for the fact that we won't see Haven again, but yeah, Icebox coming back was
Mhm.
really a point of happiness for me. But the changes, my goodness, the window and the boxes in between them. It has completely changed the overview of Icebox itself. What do you have to say about it?
It has changed the overview and the aesthetics. Yes, that is
Yeah.
100% true. Plus, it's a lot more difficult for the defenders to hold the B side, wherein they would stand upon the container by probably going with the updraft play, or if you've got an Omen with a shrouded step, even if you've got a Sage, maybe boost yourself up. But honestly, I still feel that the main thing about Icebox is the fact that there are just so many A executes, and in so many
Yeah.
different ways you can go forward with that, that it basically becomes inevitable for the teams to try and go towards the B side, right? They mostly go for a B fake and then end up at A yet again. I still remember a few of the games wherein the teams executed in the 12 rounds exactly on the A side without going to B once, and that still is going to be the same. Yes, in terms of A splits, now you have to worry about the window angle where someone could potentially peek you and pick you off. So there are 3 or 4 different angles in the mid now that you've got to be worried about. But apart from that, I think so still the A main executor is going to remain the same. Maybe this is just to divert the attention of the players from A and to push them towards the B side a little more by
Yeah.
bringing up that extra container. So they've got some extra room to work with.
Yeah, that's gonna be true. But speaking more about the updates, Lotus, my goodness, once again a map that has been drastically changed.
True.
Back then when we used to talk about the map of Lotus itself, we used to say that it is an attacker favors map, and you get a great advantage if you are on the attacking side. Somewhere down the line, yes, it was very
True.
debatable, but now that we have seen so many changes happening, drastical changes over to the sides of B and C, honestly, it's just so difficult for the sides of defenders to even think. It's just so difficult for the sides of attackers to even think of getting the side entry for themselves. Because
True.
once again, if you try and hold a cross at the entry point itself, it becomes a choke point, and there's no other options that the attackers might go up with.
Exactly. With those extra space on either sides, you can basically hold a crossfire. You mentioned that as well
Yeah.
before the match and the stream began, that how it has become difficult for the attackers to go in for those executes. And I think so that still would be pretty okay, because seeing how attack centric Lotus was, teams would make a comeback even from a 10-2 deficit if they are on the attack of the
Yeah.
second half, that is. So that is how solid you can play, especially on that attack. You need to take that map space, and then again, retaking the space for the attackers was fairly easy as compared for the defenders. So I think so adding those extra space is just going to give them a little more leeway to work with and maybe pose some extra threat to the attackers. But again, just talking about the changes itself, right? We'll talk about the third map that's going to come in this series. Potentially,
Yeah.
that's going to be the map of Breeze if the series go 1-1,
Breeze.
that is. And honestly, I feel that ending things up on the map of Breeze, I can't quite say if it's entirely attack centric or defense centric, because yes, taking the space on A, it kind of seems easy. With the Viper, you put up a wall, use some utilities, you can go for the execute. But retaking that side for the defenders is going to be the main part that they will be looking forward to. It's kind of difficult, that is something I would say, but having the mid control on Breeze, that's main thing and main priority.
That map has it's just a nightmare to me. That's all I can say about the map of Breeze, honestly, because every single time I queue in for a combi match and I see the map of Breeze coming, I'm like, oh no, here we go again. And just remember back then when we did not have such heavy changes affecting the map itself, people used to love
Mhm.
the map. But yeah, in the technical terms, if we talk about it more, it is an amazing map. Honestly, I wouldn't lie at that point of time, because again, at the end of the day, it completely depends on what your agent selection is like. But talking more about the agent selection, ladies and gentlemen, it's high time that we get into the map of Split itself, slay them with respect, going up against against the sides of Team Diversity, and we have the agent select right in front of us.
Just picking up the good old Killjoy in the hands of Trist. Lufisan's gonna go in for the Rays as well. Omen, Breed, Sky. You were touching the point of double initiators before the discussion, and that is what we are seeing from their side. So I think so. It's a pretty decent composition, but not picking the Viper is. I am kind of gonna question that decision, because Viper split, it's a pack that you basically cannot break. Those walls give you so much room. Even the snake bites, slow down the pushes. The choke points are something that Viper can hold really well. You can use the Viper as a pseudo sentinel, but again,
Yep.
that's not gonna happen in front of us. But Ray is definitely picked up by Luffy-san. I am looking forward to how he's gonna play.
Yep, that's gonna be true. Also, with the initiator agents, is gonna be very very important, because right here once again comes into the play that how will you start your attack? I mean, how will you start your execution? At the end of the day, you need agents who can maybe check
True.
the angles for you. You need some agents who can go in and drop some explosive utilities. Some agents having a great movement. So that's where things do change. And look, both of these teams, it kinda says a big bold statement, right? That this might just be anyone's game. But scared, Mr. Round, over to you.
Still round, here we go. Map of split. And Viper coming in for the side of diversity. I'm already leaning in towards them with just the agent select itself, because Viper, Omen, I've mentioned that how solid this composition is, and on the map of split, teams seldom go for a sentinel pick. They basically get two controllers and a double duelist to help them in the attack, because taking the mid space is important. And honestly, this is exactly what they're doing. Look at that. Skydog going out in the mid, gonna push back the players or slay them with respect.
Concussing!
That's going to be the concussion coming in. The first fight being taken, but lost by Buster. Little too ahead of himself. Shadow, can he find the fake? He dodges the flash perfectly and gets another one. That's the B heaven control already taken.
Spike down mid.
Spike. Comes up on the side of Kami.
Last player standing.
One might go in for the second one.
30 seconds left.
Perfect time. Play them with respect. Is just remaining with one of their last players. It's going to be Barang. A 1 versus 3
Spike planted.
It seems to be very difficult, but I can still consider it as a 1 versus 2. Looking at the Viper, who seems to be surviving on 1 HP completely. Can this be a bait for his teammates? But I don't think that is really very necessary. Towards the main is where I see Garang for now checking each and every single corner. Not really sure if he will be able to clutch out this situation at this point. Looking at the post-man positioning coming up from the sides of Diversity, has made his way already inside the site. Now this
He's found the opening.
Very interesting. Yeah, he might just go in for the diffusal.
Yes, exactly.
Trying to stick off. Very near
Poisoned off.
and that's going to be found up for the last try. The very first one goes in for the sides of Team Diversity.
Jeez, I mean the time when he actually found that opening, that was really smart. And I think he loved from that payment from Diversity to go to the main. Went for the dog, made sure that there's no one apart from just a Sky there. Pushed forward in that situation with the Rays going in for those satchel plays and a classic in hand. Just right click was much more than sufficient for him to secure that part of the map. And this is the kind of thing I was already talking about. How you establish mid control is important. And look at the adjustment from Slay Them With Respect. Investing 4 people directly in mid. Couple of them towards the vents, couple of them towards the male. Now that's the kind of adjustment I really love to see, while Trist is holding the ramp control, making sure that there's no fast A execute coming in. And Diversity as well, they seem to be very about it. They're waiting for any kind of push from Slay Them With Respect, and it's quite understandable because Slay Them With Respect are on a save round, and on a pistol round, you would normally want to have that numbers advantage and kind of rush your opponent, surprise them. But the smokes are going to go out as the Skydog gives the information. The site seems to be entirely empty, no one in the heaven, and it's all just a fake though because everyone's regrouping towards the A.
I have the spike.
They're taking it way too slow right now. Look at their positioning. Mid push coming up from the sides of Slay Them With Respect, trying to check each and every corner back then. But they know that there are 4 players standing from outside.
Destroyed.
It's going to be the last 30 seconds. For one is the question. A lot of future right in front of him could not
30
escape.
seconds left.
That's where he gets taken down.
Sky's out!
Right present at the back, and that's where he should
Spike planted.
They did fight 1 frag. They can actually go in this ambush push and find another one. Buster for 1. Yes, see, is the numbers are falling down to the sides of Diversity, and this might just can be a nightmare that they face scared.
Yes, it indeed is true. The flash goes out along with the paranoia, but the return paranoia coming in from Kami. 1-for-1 trade going in. Luffy stands still, the marshal in hand, but Panda seems to the thorn in their way as Buster seems to fall. Kami with
1
go.
enemy remaining.
Behind the opening. TP right in front. Go wrong. That could have been a misplay, but Kami
Player standing.
trying to find the opportunity, but Luffy-san with the Bucky upgrades the weaponry. Is the Spectre, goes out with the paint shells. The stab comes in, but Kami with Ghost is good on it. There's 49 HP, and that was so very close.
Yep, that was way too close. One last remaining player, man. Come on. It could have been a round for Slay Them With Respect, and we would have been talking about a 1-all scoreline in the initial stages itself. But either ways, one last remaining player, Diversity, got that round for themselves. But again, I would say that was a costly round, right? They did invest onto a lot of weapons, and this time over, I do see a lot of Spectres and 2 Phantoms coming up now. They've reinvested onto few of their weapons, which means that they... I mean, come on, they had no bonus to actually play around with. Towards the A side is where the execution might just come in. The dash is already there, and they are already deep inside the site. Trist needs to find one, but gets denied from Shadow, and that's going to be him judging Trist hard out there, giving a gun to his teammates. Site completely open for business. The spike gets planted, and it all goes down to a 5 versus 4 retake scared. This seems to be so difficult for Slay Them With Respect.
We'll just have to wait because Panda needs to find the lurker. Luffy-san, shots being fired. Opposition by Kami, but he waves almost every single shot. And Panda as well loses his own duel. Gorang has got a paranoia to work with along with a couple of smokes. Shrouded step. Flash is going to be dodged perfectly, but that's going to be a good trade for diversity. Buster finds an opening behind the box. That's going to be another pick. He-Man. My god, that's literally a He-Man play coming in from inside. But honestly, the way how diversity found that opening towards the A side without any resistance, it kind of seems worrying for me. But looking at the way how Slay Them With Respect went in for that retake, they're always investing at least one, if not two people towards the flank from the Sivers. So it might be a good idea for diversity to adjust on the back of it, invest a couple of players there to try and pick one off. Plus, one more thing that I feel is the fact that they're not taking the A ramp control and the A heaven control. They need to take that space in order for Slay Them With Respect to try and use a lot of utility to retake that space. But now the trades go in. Luffy-san pushing way too forward. And Sasmi as well finds out Buster. This push has costed Slay 2 players.
Man, they're just taking those fights which are costing them their lives entirely. Look at that. Slay Them With Respect have lost two of their players early on, and players who tend to invest onto those weaponry. So it's going to be so difficult for them. Even if I talk about Luffy, he had the ult for himself. He could have waited back and maybe let the sides of diversity come and walk inside the side and punish them really hard. But for now, numbers advantage completely lie in the favors of diversity. And if I talk about the aggression, they might just make their way again towards the A side, but it's just left completely on the shoulders of the KJ alone. This is not really looking that great to me. The way Diversity Esports is just taking their own good time to go in for the aggression inside the smoke. Chris just gives a big shock, not just to Sasmi but to Shadow himself. Punishes them both hard with the judge in his hand. Equalizes the number 3 for 3. But is it doable for them is the question. They need this round. It's going to be very important. Gorang right present inside the smoke once again.
Last player standing.
From the shadows come into the play, but Gorang, he has been hunting those heads real hard. 2 picks for Gorang as well, and it all goes down to one last remaining player, Kami. A 1 versus 3 post-plant situation scared.
Oh, he had the shoulder visible, but Gorang saw the better of him, gets the headshot through the wall bang. And this round was 100% saved by Gorang's play in that smoke. And this is the kind of opportunities and the openings that Slay Them With Respect are always finding. Even though the first 2 picks went to diversity, they had a very solid early game play. But Chris, look at that judge in the hand, playing so up close and personal, almost disrespecting the smoke put in front of him. Or let's just say utilizing that smoke for himself. Every single time we were seeing diversity dumping a good bunch of utility. Even in round 2, we saw them how they were able to flush out Trist in that small cubby right under the heaven on the left side with the snake bite along with paint shells. Now that's the kind of utility you would always want to use even if you're pushing any kind of smoke, because there's a possibility of a judge play, and that has come to bite them in the back. So maybe they're gonna look better of it. Again, investing the Trailblazer towards the B heaven. This is the kind of standard set play that they have been going, but they kind of end up going in towards the A side. This time they are looking towards the B. Flash for the info. Rio has an idea. There's absolutely no one in the B main at least. If not, scanning the Omen right there, and they're going to take the Vents control too. So the amount of space diversity are getting in the mid, it is worrisome.
Yeah. Really worrisome at this point of time. But look at the split coming up from Team Slay Them With Respect as well. The first frag is already theirs, and that's going to be Buster who gets taken down. Rio joins the same party after he's able to shut down 1. That's not yet enough, because now, once again, the numbers disadvantage rolls into the favors of Slay Them With Respect, and that's where the problem might arise. They still have 2 good ultimates to be invested onto, which can turn the tables around, but will that be possible? Luffy good for 1. Yes, he is. Shuts down Panda. The numbers gets equalized. Showstopper comes into the play and shuts down other duelist out there. Kami finds a trade, but Trist is good for another one. One last remaining player. Once again, Kami into a 1 versus 2. The previous time over, it was a 1 versus 3 for Kami to clutch out and was not able to do that. All he could do is go in for the plant, and this time over, it's once again a 1 versus 2. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Needs to go in for the plant. It could be successfully done towards the B side. But this time over, he needs to be really careful about his positioning.
player
Because look at
standing.
Trist, he is just 6 HP down and he gets taken down. So it all goes down to both of these remaining Omen. A 1 versus 1. Do you think Goran can cup up on the top scared?
Be highly possible, but he still has no idea about Gorang's positioning unless he's given him some foots. And with the way he's looking at, he does not see him. He sees him, the paranoia right in his face. With the TP fake coming in from Kami, does it catch Gorang off guard? Because I do not think so. He's still clearing a lot of space. No more utilities apart from a couple of smokes and shrouded step for Gorang. While for Kami, he has to move forward. He has to disrespect the smoke. Moves in, gets the pick. And history is not going to repeat itself. Kami knows better. The advantage and the adjustment. How active he went after that plant was the reason why he won this round. Because after going in for the plant, he went directly towards the CT to try and find and isolate one duel. He was able to do so. Trist was caught off guard. He had no idea about that proactive play. And eventually, after seeing how heaven is clear as well as there's no one coming in from the CT, he had to look to the spawn, and that's where he was looking at. B main was the place where the rotation was coming in, and eventually the round went in for their side. So slay them with respect. This is kind of the first round where they were attempting to go in for another good retake, but were just not able to close things out.
Initial contact. Well, this time
I've got
over
your
again,
trail.
we do see the sides of Slay Them with respect a bit aggressive towards the A side. Oh, Sasmi, he has his blades online, but will he be able to find one is the question, because the way they've been peeking him, it just seems to be a bit difficult. They also have a lot of information to work around with. Look at Shadow and his positioning. Even if one single player tries to rotate from the mid, it's going to be a bit difficult. Shadow, but his ultimate comes online, might find one. Yes, he's able to do that. Buster gets taken down. He does have a free upgrade of the weaponry if he wants to. Trist finds a perfect trait, gets the revenge done. Situation goes down to 44, but still, even if we talk about the post-plan situation, they do have the KJ ultimate to be relied on, so they can be a bit safer until and unless Theo gets out of the picture. Now here's where the difficulty might just arise. Chris not really sure on what positioning was he looking towards, comes out of the smoke. That's gonna be Panda. Shuts him down, and the spike also gets planted. It's going to be impossible for the sides to slay them with respect to clutch this round, as it all goes down to Gorang being the last remaining player. Every single time it's the Omens remaining at the last, and this time it's going to be one from the sides of slay them with respect. Gorang trying to make his way inside. Can actually find one. Yes, he's able to do that. A big surprise to Kami out there. He's trying to go in for smokes, but now they know where he is. 1 versus 3. Again, maybe a fake TP. Finds another one. Doubles it up for himself. That's where Panda shuts him down. 1 to 5. Diversity are running away with rounds at this point of time.
That is indeed true, but I really love the fake play coming in from Shadow, investing even the showstopper, and he almost got Trist. He was so very low that just one headshot from Panda with the classic, it was enough to deal a good amount of damage onto his head, taking him down back to his knees. But this is the play that I was pretty scared about, honestly. But the way Panda and Sasmi, they both were playing in for the jiggle peak one after the other, it eventually caught him off guard. So Gaurang was not able to get those two duels isolated. Otherwise, when he was able to pick off Sky, I thought maybe he could pull it from the brink of defeat, from the edge of defeat, because 1v2 is almost always doable. Just a couple of lucky headshots is all you need. Or maybe with the
Yeah.
skills that you have, you will be able to land them eventually, either ways. But yes, Diversity Esports, they always seem to be finding these first two openings. So what I personally feel is that Slay them with respect would need to play slow, or if in case they want to take a space around the part of a map, they just do not need to push solo, maybe triple push a space and let two players just hold off a part of the map only to play in for a retake at that part. Maybe it could be mid or towards the A if they want to push in directly towards the B. And since they're seeing how diversity is ending at A multiple times, maybe try and take that space proactively, surprise them with a fast play. But looking at the wall, I think so. It's just a little bit extra towards the west. Could have just touched the edge of the side. That would have given Diversity a lot more room to work towards the B main.
Screen down.
With this, Lay Them with Respect could just
Yeah.
scale up towards the B main. Not quite sure with the maneuver coming in from Panda.
Looking at the split that the sides of diversity are up to, it kind of seems a bit confused. on what exactly their plan is. They might are just waiting for that one single frag to come in. Towards the mid is where they did show a lot more of presence. They have the information on where Shadow is. 2 players towards the mid, 2 towards A side, and 1 solo towards B. This time over, it seems to be a bit difficult again. Also talking about the ult economy diversity, if they get the cycle good for themselves, they can invest onto the Viper's pit, and the situation might just get more and more vulnerable, which is exactly the case. Viper's pit is already invested, and B side seems to be so difficult. But look at what exactly is happening. The spike is making its way towards the A side. Viper is towards the B. Now,
Good read.
this
30
is
seconds left.
amazing.
I just love the read that's coming in from Slay Them With Respect. They've done it so many times now,
Yeah.
but Sasmi, he's basically isolated on the side with only 20 HP in hands. Can he try and catch one person from Slay Them With Respect off guard, off position? No, wait.
10
They figured
seconds
out his
left.
positioning. That's going to be a 2v1 situation
enemy
onto the
remaining.
screens. Buster, can he find the pick? But that's going to be the
Spike
trade
down.
going on directly towards the B side as well. But they've got the spike and no time to go for the plant. Wrap up is there from Slay Them With Respect. I love the read coming in from them, and I love the call that Twist gave that yes, the pit is invested, but it's barely even on site, and there's absolutely no chance they would be able to plant with that kind of pit. So it is all a fake. And then at the exact same time, we also saw Breach getting a good pick directly in the A main. That was just a great maneuver, and after that, Diversity just were left in others. They used from the shadows too, which did not give them any room, and they lost the time. That was a great play from Slay Them With Respect. But for now, mid aggression coming in there.
Yeah, Trill finds the opening, and Rio teams up at the same time. Movement is good for the revenge, but it's just about the one single flag that he has got for himself. Luffy gets taken down. Numbers are still into the favors of Slay Them With Respect, but Shadow, he shits down Trist as well. He gets an upgrade onto the weaponry for himself. 3 versus 3 Seekers invested a lot of information to work around with, but Teeman is down to 6 HP. He can heal others, but not himself, is the biggest problem out there. Can just be used as maybe a bait to enter the side, or maybe to gain more information at this point of time. But look at Rio. Look at his positioning. This just can be so vulnerable, but Kami was prepared. No way Kami hit that perfect shot. And the flank gets denied. But another one from Gorang now. Let's see if that is going to help them. The B side is completely open for business. At least for now, they can go in and they get the plant done. But will that be the case yet? What do you think?
Look at the pings on the map. Slay
30
Them With
seconds
Respect
left.
still have an idea where this hit might actually go on to, even though they don't have mail control. But I still feel finally Diversity would look to take control of the B. Yes, they've got the entire control over the ramp too. They're gonna jump in directly on the side. Buster, he should be hearing all the ruckus that's happening on the B
10
side. So
seconds
Gorang
left.
is again gonna move directly from the spawn. That's gonna be an investment of Rolling Thunder, denying the plant. 3 more seconds. Can Kami find the plant is going to be the question. He does barely, but the aftershock, a perfect investment of utility from Buster. But both the players are up in heaven. They've got to be wary about it. Gorang slowly moving forward. He needs to be the one to make this play because they know the positioning of Buster. So Gorang needs to be the one to going forward for a flash. Buster, no more utilities left. 23 more seconds for the fall line to come up.
Player
He-Man gets
standing.
just 6 HP off angle, will get taken down, headshotted, and it's all just down to Raze. It's gonna go in for that spam as well. Shadow does not have enough opportunity to work with. Gorang gets the headshot, and this should be another round. Slay Them With Respect. What a great retake from them, and a massive investment of Rolling Thunder.
They think they're better than us.
Master, man, he did everything possible to stop the sides of Diversity from
On my
getting
way.
the plant done. You know, he invested onto the Rolling Thunder
On my
to
way.
deny the plant. It was 6 seconds remaining on the clock. He did go in for the aftershock, which got him 1 frag eventually, but that's where the spike got planted. Doesn't matter, at the end they were able to get the post plant successfully done for themselves. And that's where the scoreline goes down to a 3-5. Again, Slay Them With Respect still do have their, you know, lockdown available to be invested onto in the post plant or to get all of them out of the site itself. But Gorang, he is into a vulnerable situation. Looking to they know what his positioning is, and this can just put an end
My
to 2
God.
players. That's gonna be the case. Sasmi and Shadow, they get taken down to this trap set up by Gorang. The paranoia was perfect from both of these ends, but it just was a great advantage to Guarang out there. Numbers completely falling down for Diversity Scared.
That is true. Gorang just barely does that paranoia, and for Diversity now, they've got no map space, no map control, because even towards B, you can see Kami already pushed up forward, up front. Panda seems to be aware. Gorang might be in that corner, caught him lacking. Can he double it up? And yes, is the answer. Trist gets finished off as well. Panda bringing it back from the edge of defeat. The flash directly towards the heaven should confirm the presence of someone. Was the vents to the wall's gonna go back up. But look at the flank that's gonna come in from Raze now. It's giving a lot of foots, but still cutting the noise at the perfect point, at the perfect edge. Luffy-san. He's got the operator in the hand though, not the best weaponry for the
30
flank, but
seconds left.
if he really wants to force that issue, he can. Buster, 3 people behind him. He seems to be aware, but still gets taken down yet again. Panda with another pick. Heaven control still in the hands of Rio. Tries to go in for a spray down. Snakebite is not perfect, but the plant is gonna come in. Luffy-san as well, changing the weaponry, quickly picking up the Phantom. Should help him out. 3 points away from the showstopper. Rami watching the screens. A lot of utility available for Rio, but still playing it smart. That's going to be another flash coming in. And was the poison orb right in his face. Reyes going in for the facials as well. Not quite sure if that was just to take the space, because Luffy-san doubles both of them up. And it's all just down to He-Man. Can he find that pick is the question. Luffy-san is the one who triples it up. If Panda can get a 3k, then so can the Rays.
Good retake once again. Every single time we talk about the retakes coming up from the sides of Slay Them with Respect, they are able to just be too good at it. I mean, look, they were not having the perfect numbers for themselves. They were down with one player. It was a 2 versus 3 situation, but Luffy single-handedly was enough to take all the players down. The defusal came in and it goes down to a 4-5. One more round for the sides of Slay Them with Respect to take it to an equalizer, and they have 3 of their ultimates ready. Once again, with the showstopper and the lockdown they have from the shadows to be invested onto, so they can actually make a very good play around all the all the ultimates that they have for themselves. But this time over, once again, Diversity has decided to go in for a split play. 2-2-1. 2 towards A, 2 towards mid, and 1 player slightly at the outskirts of B this time. The first frag, the first person to fall down, it's going to be Gorang. Goes down to the hands of Sasmi. They found the opening that they wanted to have a good control over to the A side, but Buster is still present inside the side, and the rotation from the sides of Rio has already been called off.
Absolutely true. Vent was left open, so was mid. So Diversity just taking that entire space. Now to grab even more information. The Trailblazer should give the cue. Ramp control already for Diversity. Wall's gonna go up. Even the alarm bot by the Killjoy now giving them the information that the push coming in from Vent should give the cue to Rio move backwards. The blind comes in. They basically cased the entire team of Diversity, but still they were able to take a space on towards the heaven. Can they go in on the side? That's going to be the question, because still there is Buster on the side, and he stands strong, gets 2. Brings out the number to be in an equal position. Lockdown invested just to deny them the plant at all. Paint shells being thrown out. Everyone's just taking space. He-Man though, but he's gonna catch Luffy. No! He wins that trade. Sasmi finally tries to bring it back, but they don't have time. They can't go in for the rotate. They've got to go in for that side commitment. Rio still on side. Will be finished off. Will be taken down. It's going to be the last fight. Triz does not win it. Shadow wins it out, and that is another round for Diversity. With the amount of map space that Slay Them with Respect had, yeah, I thought they should be able to close things out, but the way Diversity pulled it all off just on the base of their sheer trade potential, that was crazy.
Bustard was cornered, you know. He had no position to keep himself safe and secure, and still he was able to find 2. Also on the other side, the way Luffy just turned around and hit that perfect operator shot. Man, oh man. It could have been a round for the sides of Slay Them with Respect, but it will go in the favors of Diversity Esports, and also the hopes of Slay Them with Respect to equalize the numbers here on is being answered, and that's a big no. Still 2 rounds remaining to end the first half itself. A timeout coming up from the sides of Diversity. It just feels like they need to, you know, just plan once again on what exactly is going wrong out there. Even if I talk about the art
Mhm.
economy at this point of time, alongside the Bladestorm, they have the Seekers to be invested onto. Slay them with respect, still have two of their ultimates ready. The KJ lockdown was invested in the previous round. They did not get the round for themselves either ways, but again, this time over, these two ultimates can play a big role. In terms of economy as well, I'm not really sure on if both of the teams have their full buys cleared.
Swarm grenade. Turn out.
Yes, we can already see a half shield in the hands of Trist. He's got a Phantom to work with, so
There. Here.
should give him a little bit of a room. But Luffy-san, flash from Rio should reveal the information. But both the duelists is quickly taping the ramp space. Showstopper, he sends it, but does not catch anyone. And Shadow will trade him down, but Buster
got your
knows better.
trail.
He gets everyone on the ramp. It's a 2-for-1 trade and in favor of Slay Them With Respect. For quite a while, they were able to take that advantage for themselves, but again, investing those rifles
3 for
seemed to be a
3.
good decision, and everyone from the side of Slay Them With Respect rotating towards the B side because the defenders are now split. Two of them at A, two of them at B. So the direct advantage should go for Diversity. Viper puts up the wall, so they will be able to take some space. Snakebite should give the information. Trish still holding the angle. That's going to be the paranoia being committed. Gorang gets one. Panda gets taken down. It's just on to Kami. Needs to
enemy
find that
remaining.
opening, but the patience coming in from Trish. That's spiked out. And He-Man can't do anything apart from just getting Gorang as Trish was there and vigilant with that trade. Slay them with
Last
respect.
round in the half.
The massive play by Buster yet again up in a heaven. That was massive.
Oh, this is what an experienced player gets to the team. A lot of frags, a lot of calls, and not able to see him on the top of the tables though. But once again, Buster, the way he's been holding off the side. In the previous round, you remember towards the A side, he got that 2 frags where he was completely pincered into a corner, and this time over, once again, 2 for Buster. It just says a lot. But going down to the last round, not able to see that great of a buy coming up from the sides of Diversity. Bladestorm have been invested onto. This is going to be a full-fledged B push coming up. Sasmi has already found the opening. Doubles it up as he shuts down Trist, and the entirety of Diversity is already inside the side. Shadow is good for one. Numbers have been completely denied. Shadow doubles it up again, and it all goes down to one last remaining player, Rio, the Igil of the team. Paint shells will be forcing him to go behind. Rio shuts down Sasmi. That's all he could do before gets taken down to Panda, and it is going to be a 7-5 half. 2 remaining rounds before the timeout, and both under the names of Diversity. I loved how Diversity went into a fast push at this round, and they just did not stop, you know. I wouldn't say that it was a W, but it was a planned W on the rolls as well, and everything was just perfect.
W Key Gaming coming at its finest. Showstopper finding
Yeah.
Buster as well. So this time he could not make a rolling thunder play, unfortunately. Was just taken down with that rocket launcher. But the opening that was provided by Sasmi, that was insane because he needed to find the pick on Gorang, who just TP'd over the boxes for an off-angle play. And he did not make that play for quite a while. So expecting him in that angle, that was a very smart decision because the TP gave in the sound cue, which eventually resulted in Diversity getting a massive advantage. But now they're on the defense, and everyone from Slay Them With Respect going in for a fast B execute as Luffy-san directly into the face of Panda on the back of utility provided by Rio. That was a brilliant piece of flash, directly blinding him, and that's the Viper taken care of. Side control being established, but seems to be a very quick retake by Diversity as well, because the paint shells are now going to be sent out. Cloudburst used up. Sasmi goes in towards the side, wants to take the space. And for one trade, Rio taken down. Sasmi, can he find anything more? Gorang is the one, but he's got lurking. He wanted to double it up, but Shadow was there for that trade. Help him out. Trade finishes him off, and Buster is there to wrap things up. Slay Them With Respect. Start the round in a great fashion.
No stopping, no split, nothing. It was just a push towards the B side with the perfect utility and the, first blood as well. As you said, the flash was perfect coming up from the teammates, and it all just went perfect for them. 6-7, which means that the sides of Slay Them With Respect do have a great advantage in this round, as they can, go in for Spectres, Bulldogs. Also a Vandal or a Phantom if they really want to invest without shields. but I'm not really sure if anyone would
Hmm.
probably do that. This time over, I did see one player holding the mid strongly, and West all once again trying to make their way towards the B side. The Viper ball goes up, does not matter. Panda is trying to
Oh,
take Luffy down, but Luffy is just too good at it.
Spike
He-Man
down B.
finds the perfect revenge twist. Good for one. Yes, he is. Numbers falling down for the sides of diversity. Side completely open for business. Shadow gets
player
taken down.
standing.
Might just be the same case with Sasmi. Yes, it is. So 3K
Out of
for
charges.
Luffy already. A 4K? No, it's gonna be Gorang for the last frag. Quick 2 rounds in the initial stages, but here is where
Sorry.
things will change because
Can't do
diversity is gonna have a full buy for themselves.
I mean, Luffy just hitting the gear 5, having those picks left and right. Not that the opponents are
There.
probably Kaido and Doflamingo. Either way, it's just one piece reference coming out in the blue, but it's a massive play again from Slay Them with respect. And on the back of utilities of Rio, again, the Trailblazer catching Panda. Even the paranoia was sent in his way. The smoke through heaven as well. He-Man got a pick from that, but by that time, we already saw Lucas going in for such a massive play. Again, he moves forward in the ram, but gets taken down this time. No backup whatsoever. He-Man was there to go in for that trade. Gorang, though, is he going to anticipate? Kami in that corner, he does not. Kami hears everything. So he should give the cue to the teammates. Look at that. They're rotating back towards the B as well. The Viper wall goes up. Gives them so much room, gives them so much control. Got to push that entire space. Trist should know better. No utilities.
One enemy
Gets taken
remains.
down. He-Man doubling
Spike
it up as
down
well.
B.
Panda with the spam through the poison orb. It's just Rio left now. And it was only good for one, taking Kami down. Nothing apart from that. Spike not in his control.
Seems to be next to impossible. 3 seconds remaining on the clock. The perfect timing to turn around, my friend. Gets taken down from Sasmi and the full buy being secured from the sides of diversity. There, I mean, the way it all started, right? Luffy was quite confident with the Spectre that he had for himself, but there were 2 players present right up there, and it just did not work in their favor. They did not get the initial entry frag, and they were completely relying back onto their bonuses for the previous round, which was all down to Spectre. So either ways, it was diversity having a great advantage in the entire situation, but right now, both the teams tend to have a full buy for themselves. I can see Kami down with a Bulldog and a full shield, having no creds for himself for the upcoming rounds whatsoever, but this time over is going to be a mid-present shown from the sides of Slay Them with respect. Yup. For now, trying to clear every single angle. Kami is right present there. Needs to take it a bit slow as he has a Bulldog to walk around with paranoia. Might just go in, but that's not the perfect
Oh, paint shells.
paranoia. I would expect the paint shell gets him
No fuel.
into difficulties, but the first frag rolls into the favors of Panda as he finds one onto Luffy. Numbers falling down. The only duel is that the sides of Slay Them with respect had gets taken down.
Buster now needs to make a play with the pseudo duelist. Are they going to anticipate the position coming in from the race? Nah, Shadow seems to be. No way! He missed the shots! Buster gets the better of him, and now they've got the entire A control. Gorang as well seems to be so very aware of the as the trades go back and forth, but still eventually in favor of Slay Them with respect. Look at the amount of space that they've taken. But wait. The read from
30
Kami
seconds
seems
left.
to be on point. Did he hear any util? No, he's directly going towards the A yet again. Just staying put. Wants to hear where the spike plant is gonna be so that he can make a quick rotation. I like the idea. Not moving preemptively towards any side. But slowly
10
creeping
seconds
forward.
left.
Not going into the heaven. He should be able to hear the plant. But does he anticipate the position coming in from Trist? Gorang is pretty low, so Trist needs to be the one to make a play. Smoke in his face. Gonna fade now. He will have timing. He's just got a couple of smokes and a shrouded step to work with. Trist. It's all gonna come down to him. Kami slowly clearing the angles, but he just could not clear the heaven. And the equalizer was something you mentioned. Equalizer is what we have now.
Yeah, definitely we do have an equalizer right present in our screen. The moment, Luffy got taken down, I was really scared for the fact on how will Slay Them with respect cope up with this and get the site entry for themselves. But the way they split themselves completely and, got those rags, were able to pull it off till a 1 versus 2. And it was very doable for the sides of diversity as well because right, it was all down to Trist. Gaurang was running very low. Could have been a 1 versus 2 clutch coming up, but at all it goes down to a 1v1 trade at such an early stage. Shadow finds one, gets taken down from Trist. He doubles it up for himself as he shuts down Sasmi as well. This time over, it's going to be the A-side aggression being shown from the sides of Slaydom with respect. Seekers to come online, and that's going to give them a lot more of information. Gaurang will be going in for the plant. Within a blink of second, it's all down to the post-plant scared.
Diversity wanted to make an aggressive play this time around, and honestly, with the amount of util dump that they did, they were able to take those trades one for one because they had an idea that, again, Gaurang would be the one who'd be playing with those smokes, with those TPs. He needs to be taken care of, but he still has the paranoia in hand, goes for it. Panda caught with it. Have to wait. Now the fight's gonna go through. He needs to win this duel, but he does not. He-Man with the flash was only able to support so much as he took down Rio, but the trades back and forth and the numbers advantage helping slay them with respect to win another round for themselves. So Diversity went in for that aggressive play because Luffy-san needed one orb for his ultimate. So they knew that maybe the aggression would come directly towards the A. They were ready for it, and they went in for some quick one-for-one trades because, again, slay them with respect. With their reactive ability, they were able to finally pick off the members of Diversity. And after that, it all just came down to the util dump in the heaven where He-Man tried to go in for a play, but he eventually had to face a Trailblazer in his face along with the fault line and the smoke. He had to concede that space, which gave room to slay them with respect to take the side and eventually go in for that after plant position. Another few trades for themselves, which gave them the numbers advantage as well.
I once again want to talk about the after plant positioning coming up from the side to slay them with respect. You saw every single player was inside the site in one corner specifically, and everyone was checking the opposite angle. Even if one of them fell down, it was the other one covering up for them. Buster, he doubled it up for himself. And in the start itself, we saw the KJ getting 2 frags. Now, this is something you generally don't expect, right? Diversity, there's something going wrong in terms of the coordination, I would say, at least in the second half itself. The way Slay Them with Respect is getting the site. Even if they are not having the numbers for themselves, they are able to capitalize onto those rounds. And that's where the problem is for the sides of Diversity. Now, this time over, once again, they have 3 important ultimates to be invested onto. Can use the Omen ultimate as an expensive recon that we, always keep talking about, or maybe to distract the enemies and have a great entry. 2 flashes going up straight above. Side entry. This time over, it's going to be the A-side aggression coming up. Every single player has already left the B side from the sides of Diversity and are trying to make that rotation, but He-Man is right present. They need to be a bit careful. Flash comes out, but Panda walks out of the smoke and he shuts down Luffy. Finds an upgrade on the weapon but does not work. He-Man good for one, doubles it up, hits the perfect shots. Gaurang gets taken down. One more player. No, that's going to be Buster. Shuts down He-Man. He doubles it up this time over and gets it down to an equalizer. So much happening in few seconds. But now is where the Rolling Thunder comes into the play. Buster shuts down Sasmi as well. It goes down to a 1v1. Rio is down to 3 of his health. 3 HP. Rio will be able to clutch it out. Diversity, Kami does have a sheriff for himself. It's going to be the Seekers that come online. Kami, he needs to be very, very careful. Even if the bullet passes next to him, he is done for. Going in for the smoke and defusal. Rio tries to come in. This time over, they are just playing around. But Kami, as I said, even one bullet going past him is enough to take him down. And that's going to be the case of Thrifty being pulled off from the sides of Diversity. Kami clutches it out for his team and takes it down to another equalizer.
Slay Them with Respect had such a fast push, but this play from Panda, he found the opening, took Luffy-san down, and He-Man just clutching everything up. Even Aftershock was invested onto him. And only after that was Buster able to triple up his own, but they had a lot of space to clean. They had to move forward with not much of the utility at hand and just 3 HP on Rio. I love the play that came in from Panda from the screens because through the smoke, he was also able to go in for that spam, which eventually got a headshot on Rio, if I'm not wrong. That was the kind of play that they needed. Everyone's ready to go in directly towards the B. That's going to be the showstopper. Invested directly over the poison orb. He goes, sends it. Does not catch anyone as Sasmi gets the better of Luffy-san. All thanks to the snake bite that was thrown up. A perfect use of util yet again. Diversity finding the opening. They seem to be aware about Panda's positioning. Smoke's gonna fade now. Wait, wait, they haven't seen him. No, they're gonna go in for the clear. Gorang, just
You should run.
so very vigilant. You cannot count either of them out. Lockdown to give them room on the side. Clears the entire B heaven as well. They've got nowhere to break it. So Diversity will respect it. They will move backwards. No space on side being taken. Finally, they'll be moving forward. Diversity can go in for a flood retake if they want to, but just seem to be waiting. Flash comes in, should give the information about heaven. The cloudburst right in the face. Tasmi goes in for the spray down along with the paranoia, but Trace on the road finds the off angle. And another flash just to push Kami back, but Gorong as well. Finding a couple of picks of his own. And I guess the call should be made to save. They just have to wait and see if they actually go in for those fights, and they will. Rio wins it, but it's got lacking as well. Down to just He-Manthers.
A 1 versus 2. Seems to be really difficult. Time not being his best friend. He needs to make a quick decision. Maybe he's just waiting down for some of the exit time. He knows the location. Finds one. Stun comes up from the sides of Buster, though. They are trying to take him down and not letting him say whatsoever. But what's happened there? Finally, Triss is able to shut him down. He-Man on the other side did find 2 players, but the first team to reach the double digits in terms of the overall scoreline, it's going to be slay them with respect. 10-9. A very close matchup, ladies and gentlemen, that we are, witnessing right now. 2 of the ultimates were invested in the previous round alongside the showstopper. We did see the KJ lockdown coming up. The showstopper was actually not able to find anything, but I would still say the lockdown was invested onto the perfect time after Gorang found a perfect frag onto Panda. After that, they invested onto the lockdown and just really helped them getting the site completely under their control. In terms of economy, it is looking good, but this time over, Panda has already invested onto the Viper's pit early on towards the B main. So denying Viper could be a bit difficult until and unless you spam a lot of utils. But look at that! Extra, my goodness! Luffy gets deleted from the side of Sasmi. The initial frag is already in their favor, but Buster with a perfect revenge goes down to a 4v4. They do have a good mid control for themselves, but they need to make their way towards either the B or the A. Oh, wait, the A side is completely open for business. They can actually make their way from the vents towards the A side. And this can just get Diversity into a lot more of problem scared.
He-Man seems to be aware. He's also slowly moving towards the end. He's giving the cue to his teammates that no one has made their way here just yet. So they're still stacking B, doubling up in the Viper's pit as well. Shadow and Panda, both of them staying put. And Trist, he wants to probably go and challenge.
30 seconds left.
It's on the pit though.
Positioning.
Rio as well. Look at the flank, the double flank from Rio and Gorang, both of them. Buster in the heaven. Kami, I don't think so. He's seen him. He's got the timing. And Rio, will he catch Kami off guard, off position? And no, he will not! Buster will be there to go in for that trade. But the spike should go down. It should be planted. Just in the hands of Shadow with the boombot in hand. Can he find the pick? They both have to make their way, but they cannot just move out of the pit just yet. They will though. It will fall. And Shadow gets Triss. They had an idea of Triss positioning. That is just so damn smart and vigilant from their side. But they still have got a couple of more players to worry about. Buster onto the side. Will catch one. Will he? No is the answer. Shadow gets the pick through that wall bang. Directly through the boxes. The flash gonna go out. Gorang's position is known. He's been flushed out. 38 HP in hand. He gets one and quickly traded. And another round gonna go for Diversity. This game seems never ending.
My goodness, what was that round? They did invest onto the Viper's pit early towards the B side. And, teams slay them with respect. They were kind of very stubborn on making their way towards the B itself. They had a good flank. They made their way entirely towards the CT, went in towards the side. But that's where the problem arises. Players started to fall down, and that was not the perfect time to get taken down from your enemies because your team needed numbers. The Viper's pit was still there. Triss was trying to hold an angle outside the side, but it just did not work in their favor, and Diversity comes up with a good answer. This time over, slay them with respect. They do not have a good economy. They'll be going on with some sheriffs and a guardian onto the hands of Triss, which gets denied instantly. from Kami, which means now all sheriffs needs to make some magic to get this round. Or it's going to be the sides of diversity. You'll be 1 point closer towards the match point scare. This seems to be very, very difficult.
Definitely seems to be difficult, but no control over towards heaven as Buster gets taken out near the ramp. And the retake is already coming in. I love the approach coming in from diversity. Heal comes in, Shadow back to 100 HP. Gorang as well with the classic in hand. He goes in for the smoke, right click, right onto the face. Goes in for the TP, wants to make a play, but can he find another? No is the answer. He-Man with the Bulldog was able to finish him out and flush him out. Shadow as well. Wrapping up Rio, and the round is gonna go for diversity again. Just as we mentioned, Eco for Slay Them With Respect. So it was inevitable that the round's gonna go to diversity, and the retake that they brought in was just immaculate. Because they were not playing to fight against the members of Slay Them With Respect. They just gave them the space that they needed. We saw diversity tripling it up in the A heaven, making sure that when they want to go in for the retake, they've got enough utilities and they've got enough space and room to work with. And also, we saw Kami as well as Panda playing in towards the male, going in for a B retake set play. So that was a good approach coming in from their side. But now, in a 1-2 set up Trailblazer. Oh my god, it cleared so much space towards the air. They're gonna just take it away, take it over, and the flank can come in and very early trap. That's gonna be the paranoia being sent in. Kami's position noted, taken down. And what? Shadow was able to actually get to Bisan out with the showstopper in the hand. It catches Rio as well. Flash was right onto the face, but it was just a second too late. Trist in the main will be able to find another opening. Gorang takes Shadow, and it's just Sasmi with the turret.
Spike planted.
Can he move away from
One
it?
enemy
The
remaining.
outburst, but Trist seems to be aware and he doubles it up, wins the round for his team.
I did.
They are just so aware about the map. Like every player knows what's happening and that too where.
The way Shadow doubled it up for himself and his team, I thought things would have been different because, again, he had a great chance, but there were two players present towards the mid from the sides of Slay Them With Respect, and it all just went haywire and not worked out perfectly the way they wanted. But once
Jeez.
again, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to an 11-11 scoreline. I mean, what's happening in this game? We started off with a 5-1, if I'm not wrong, in favors of diversity, and we are down to 11-11 right now. So much that has already happened, but this time
True.
over Kami seems to be a bit aggressive towards the B side. He has seen the pixel. He knows he needs to run behind for his life, but this can be so difficult. But no, wait. His target was Luffy, and it was Trist to fall for that trap because the satchel came
The TP!
trying to escape. What's exactly happening? He went towards the CT with the TP for himself. Slay Them With Respect.
One
They
enemy
are falling
remaining.
down again. The backstab coming up from all these players. Buster good for one, yes he is, but the paranoia is going to get him into a lot more of problems. And that's where Sasmi finds the last one. Ladies and gentlemen, diversity onto the match point. Will the sides of Slay Them With Respect be able to shut down them in this round and take it to an overtime? You saw, Scared, what happened in the initial stages itself. It was Luffy. Kami was trying to take down Luffy, but he just went in with the satchel and
I
saved
know,
himself,
right?
and Trist, he fell for the trap. No.
So he had to clear the angle over the boxes as well, and that's where
Yeah,
he was looking at.
obviously.
And Kami, with the off position, was able to just catch him off guard. And yes, if not Luffy, then Trist at least. I'm gonna take one, thank you. And then he also did a lot of damage to Luffy himself. He was down to just 3 HP. But again, map point with an eco round in the hand. Luffy gets taken care of right away. No one to use any utility over Sasmi. He was just free from everything. That's gonna be the rolling thunder being invested. Everyone in the heaven. I don't think so they could do anything. Shadow
down A.
still gets one in
Last
that
player
play.
standing.
And that's gonna be Panda doubling it up. It's all down to Buster and 1v4. And He-Man seems to be aware of his position. And he will take him
Defenders
down
win.
as well. And it's going to go for diversity. What a brilliant play coming in from their side.
Man, oh man, expect the unexpected is, what this tournament is all about, because the way diversity has
True.
performed, man, oh man. had a lot. I mean, I had a high expectation coming up from the side to slay them with respect, understanding the fact that who their IGL is and how experienced the players are,
Mhm.
what all they have done before, the amount of experience that they carry with themselves. But man, oh man, diversity. Me wrong straight up. The strategies were on point. Initially, also, right, initially we saw a 5-1 scoreline coming up in favors of diversity itself, and they had a great advantage. But at all, we saw a comeback from the sides of Slay Them with respect. It all went down to a 5-all scoreline. It was an equalizer. Then we saw a 10-10, we saw an 11-11. We could have witnessed overtime, I mean, an overtime itself, but diversity had different plans. They wanted to end it with a 13-11, and they got the map of split for themselves.
So in round number 23rd, I was about to mention the fact that looking at the ult economy, Slay Them with Respect were just on the verge of getting two of their massive ultimates. And one was the Showstopper, if I'm not wrong. The second was the Rolling Thunder coming in from Buster. So I wanted to say that unless we're going to see diversity taking round number 23, I think so. This game could be a 13-11 in favor of Slay Them with Respect, just based on the ult economy rotation, because there was no major ultimate coming in for the side of diversity after that point. They only had their sheer gunpowder to rely on, and that is exactly what they did. The play that came in right away from Kami in the starting, in that off angle standing, did not catch Luffy-san. It's absolutely fine. He was able to catch Trist, we mentioned, and then deal a lot of damage to Kami himself. He was just down to 3 HP and also TP away from that situation. That he basically did everything you could ask for and bought enough time for his teams to go in for a flank directly through mid and move in towards the B main to get that pincer maneuver in perfectly on time and also catch all the players of Slay Them with respect off guard, off position. They were able to wrap everything up perfectly, did not lose any kind of major gunfights. Buster did make it difficult for them a little bit, but that was about it. He could not do anything more after that. And then the last round, well, they were kind of on an eco. Luffy-san directly wanted to satchel towards the heaven. He did so, but Sasmi was right in front of him, taking him down with those bullets. And as soon as he was taken down, there was no one to check the angle just under the heaven too. So Shadow, staying in that position, was able to get one. That too when he was stunned up with the fault line. That was a massive play indeed himself. And eventually they knew the position of Buster as well, because the retake was just so very quick. So an amazing play all in all from both the teams. I can only wait to see what's going to happen in the next map of Bind.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be the map of Bind coming up. But it just still takes me back to the fact that the sides of Slay Them with Respect were really prepared for the map of Split itself. I mean, I
True.
still remember, I mentioned it before as well. They were targeting the map of Split for themselves and they wanted it to be their pick. But it just is something difficult that we saw on our screens right now. The way diversity has just performed. It's a big bold statement saying that diversity this time over was better from the sides of Slay Them with Respect in terms of their strategies, in terms of their agent selection as well. Everything was just so perfect. There were mistakes being committed from both of these ends, but at the end of the day, I did see the sides of diversity just trying to, make sure that they just did not repeat the mistakes that they were committing in the initial stages itself, and it just went so good for them. Now, going down to the map of Bind again, I do have a lot of expectations over and over again from the sides of Slay Them with Respect, because I've seen Buster performing really great on that map with Rio, Gorang as a smoker. Things can be different, and I have high hopes that we might see the map of Breeze coming up. But let's just quickly go back to this, map of Split and quickly have a look on the scoreboard as well, Scared.
I mean, we know who the top fraggers are already, right? And I want to see how many picks Buster was able to secure, because looking at the performance from all three duelists in this game, it was immaculate. I mean, both of them coming in from diversity as well as Luffy-san from the side of Slay Them with Respect, they all were doing everything they needed to do, providing space to their teammates. Though I would still say Luffy-san was just a little too ahead of his team, wherein the mistakes that you were referring to, one of them was the fact that he needed to play on the back of the utilities of his teammate and not just satchel directly ahead. And there were a couple of rounds, not every round, but a couple of rounds only, wherein we saw him going preemptively and there was just no flash in front of him. There was no trailblazer. Even in the exact last round, right? We saw how he quickly went ahead on the back of his own paint shells. And the fault line, it was just a little too late itself. Had it been on time, maybe Sasmi would have been caught in that along with Shadow, and that could have given Luffy-san the opening that he was looking for to catch the player in heaven off guard and give more space to his team. So if in case they're able to adapt to this one and adjust this one little maneuver, maybe they'd be able to push it all the way and take it to the overtime on the next map, or maybe the one after that, maybe even win the series. Who knows? Because when the predictions were going on, I remember we both thought that maybe it's going to be slay them with respect to who
Slay them
take
with
this game,
respect,
but
yeah.
diversity's tenacity and endurance is just something else.
That's just so true. But let's just quickly have a scoreboard in front of us while we are discussing on what's going on in this map itself. Every single player did their level best to come up on the top and maybe be the MVP as well for this match itself. But at the end, we know it's just gonna be one single player. But Scared, if you want to go in and maybe guess a name on who can be on the top, why not give it a try? Come on. Oh, come on. There's no
That's
point doing
cheating
it
though.
right now.
I wanted to. I was about to say Sazmi. I was about to say that, but it's just going to be Shadow on his team with 24 kills and 272 ACS. That was massive. But on the other side, you just cannot count Trist out, can you? With 22 kills and 268 ACS himself. Buster following him up as well with 20, 18, and 10 assists. That is what you want on your initiator, along with Rio with 9, 19, and 11. Yes, he was facing a few problems in getting those frags, but he's the IGL of the team, right? So you can give him that
Yeah.
much room, that much leeway. With 11 assists, I think so he was doing a very solid job himself.
Honestly, Buster and Rio did their level best in terms of the support that they provided to their teams with the flashes, the guiding light, the stuns, the aftershock. Every single thing was actually perfect coming up from both of these ends. Also, looking at the fragging potential coming up from Trist, also on the other side, it's going to be Shadow with 24. He-Man with 20. It just looks so good. But now is the time we look at the match MVP. I mean, yeah, we already know who the MVP is. But once again, it's going to be Shadow coming up from the sides of Diversity, ladies and gentlemen. 24 kills, 5 assists with 11 deaths, and 6 first bloods. That's a lot. 16% of the headshot ratio as well.
Some massive stats coming in from massive player, standing up when his team needed him to. And that is exactly what you want to see from your duelists. Because both the duelists, Sasmi and Shadow, performing so very well for Diversity, popping off so early on in the first match of the series. And on the back of it, they were also able to win that entire game. He-Man as well, playing so very well. I mean, every single person in this match did what they needed to do. You talk about the flanks being caught, everyone knew the positioning of the opponent. It just seemed to me that they were reading each other's gameplay and was just a battle of chess as to who guesses the enemy's move first. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was just Diversity getting that edge. And this is the reason. Shadow, 24, 17, 5, 272 ACS, just as you perfectly mentioned. And even looking at the 6 first bloods, it clearly shows that he was willing to take those fights. He was willing to play aggressive. And on the back of the utilities of his teammates, especially He-Man with those flashes, Trailblazers, he was able to take that space away so very quickly. And it worked out just perfectly for their side. But now the question is going to remain as to what kind of composition are they going to go on the map of buy-in. Because, yes, teams usually go for a sentinel pick. But we've
Yeah.
seen in many different competitions that they might not exactly pick a sentinel, maybe go for a triple smoke composition, because on the split neither team the Diversity did not pick the sentinel. On the other side we did have Killjoy, but on this side none.
Yeah, but this time over, I feel Slay Them with Respect, they need a performance boost. They need to get this map for themselves, because if they are
Ooh.
not able to do that, you know that it is going to be done for. And with a scoreline of 2-0, it's going to be Diversity who wins the series, and Slay Them with Respect, they will get eliminated. So a performance boost, just like AMD gives in the competitive scenario, in the competition, it's the same performance boost that Slay Them with Respect needs right now, or else it's going to be done
True.
for, and we might just see a GG, well played, NT written onto the screens of our YouTube chats very well. So chats, why not just motivate the sides of Slay Them with Respect by spamming their name and maybe letting them know that everyone's got their back, because this time over I'm really excited to see the map of Breeze coming up in front of our screens, kid.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants it to go all the way. We all
Yeah.
want to see the third map breeze, but they've still got a massive hurdle in their way. Slay them with respect, need to get their game on mind, and that's where pressure kinda hits you. In the first one, yeah, you've got the leeway, you have got that freedom of testing things out, testing the waters if you really want to, and then if in case that works out for you, that's very well, because I mean, you were just testing things out. If it does not, then the pressure pushes you on, because you're down a game and then you want to take the next map. It is a much needed map for them. So if in case they're able to break through that pressure, then of course they would be able to show us even the third one breeze possibly. But if they crumble under it, I mean, that would be diversity then clutching the series in a 2-0 fashion. We'll just have to wait for that to happen though, because again, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go for a very short break. Gonna get a few gaming chairs for myself, maybe from CyberArt. Gonna test things out. While in the meantime, you make sure to enjoy the highlights that might be coming in front of you. Catch you guys in 5 minutes.
One enemy remaining.
As directed.
30 seconds left. Last player standing.
Satchel out. Placing center.
Goodbye.
One enemy remaining. Spike planted. 10 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Shadows traveling.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Your fault.
Last player standing.
Satchel out. See ya.
Spike down. One enemy remaining.
Satchel out.
Dead.
One dead.
Down A. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Player standing.
Sleep time. Buried. Nailed them.
An electrifying first map. It's going to be now the second one that might decide the fate of Slay Them With Respect. Would they be able to force a game number 3, or will they crumble under the pressure coming in from Diversity? We'll just have to wait for it to pan out, because ladies and gentlemen, you all are watching the AMD Game On 2024 presents the Arena Championship, brought to you by Comic Con India and the Esports Club, powered by Alienware, with our PC gaming partner Elite Hub and Zotac Gaming. We've got the retail partners Bajaj Electronics, gaming chair partner Cyber, and connectivity partner Act FiberNet. I mean, we have had so many massive plays in this one. I think so. I would really need the Act FiberNet internet to play them all out in front of me in a very high quality, Darsh.
That's just gonna be so true, man. An amazing start to, I would say, the broadcast itself, because the tournament started way too back with the, qualifiers happening, not on stream, not live, but yeah, we were having the matches happening off stream. But
True.
if I talk about the on-stream matches, man, oh man, what an amazing start coming up from the sides of Diversity. And now it all goes down to a question: that will the sides of Slay Them With Respect be able to take it to the map number 3? That is the map of Breeze, or Bind will be the end of this best of 3, because this is a do or die situation for them. And if they are not able to perform here, it's going to be done for.
That is indeed true. The pressure is all-time high, but I think so they should be able to pull this one off again.
Yeah.
The map of Split was the one wherein we saw both of these teams trying to compete who wants to pick this map, because both of them, they just love to play on that specific one. So it was bound to be very competitive. 13 and 11, just one round towards the left, and Slay Them With Respect would have forced an overtime. They almost did as well. But again, after all, we have got the bind up right now. Might as well jump into the agent select right away. I want to see the Viper on our screens. I want to see that one agent being picked up by not just one, maybe both of the teams, along with the Omen, maybe if you want to pair it up. But Sky and Breach are something that Diversity are going for.
Oh well, this seems to be interesting. No Viper coming up from either of the sides because I see Panda towards Sky, Kami gonna go up with the Brimstone, Breach coming up, and Shadow on Duelist on the other side. The composition seems to be more or less the similar. Now, a bit confused on what the plan is from Sasmi. Oh, it's gonna be a double duelist pick coming up from the sides of Diversity. Now, in the previous match itself, we did see a double duelist coming up, and this time over again in the map of Bind, it is the double duelist. Things are, I'd say heating up and are interesting, but the way agent selection is from the sides of Diversity, I think they want to end it here and here.
Highly possible because we were making those guesses. In the first one, they went in for a double duelist, double controller. But in this
Yeah.
one, they went in for double duelist, double initiator comp. So
Initiator.
I like the pick of Sky and Breach coming in again because Sky is like an agent that you really want to pick on this map. It gives you so much information with those flashes. We've seen so many teams playing in towards the garden, octagon, goes in for the flash to get the info towards the B, go in for the trailblazer to try and use it through the TP, get the info towards the showers. So those are the kind of plays that we might witness, maybe with a few more added on as we'll be jumping on the map of Buying. Ladies and gents, it's Diversity with one map advantage up against Slay them with respect. We'll have to see who gets this pistol to move one step closer to the 13-1 victory or maybe 13-11 victory. Who knows if it's going to be a dominating one or a very close one.
Oh well, yes, a lot of questions everybody has right now towards the showers is where all the actions unfold. A lot of util dump coming up from the sides of Diversity as well as Slay them for respect. This time over, they have demanded the showers control, which is completely denied, and now this smoke has just left the hope completely. The first track comes into the favors of Slay them with respect, but two players are kind of very low. They need to be careful. Gorang might go into the plan, goes in for a tap, and does not go into the plan, but Shadow good for one. Yes, he is. Tries to find another one and is able to do that as he finds Luffy and shuts him down. Not the
One enemy
perfect time
remaining.
is
Spike
what it
down
is for the
A.
sides of Slay them with respect. They had the numbers advantage in the initial stages, but right now it all goes down to Rio being the last surviving player. So much messy, so many things happening right in front of our
True.
screen, but right now a 1 versus 2 scared for Rio to clutch up for his team.
I mean, 150 HP on Sasme because of the overheat. I don't think so. There's any possible chance for Rio unless he gets a couple of those
30
headshots. But
seconds
the
left.
overheat is going to run out. So he's down to 100 HP but finds the angle. Rio gets shut down. They wanted to go in for a site execute directly from the showers. The util dump was just enough
30
for the
seconds
players
left.
of Diversity to stack the site back up and basically bring the perfect reinforcements at the perfect time. He-Man as well, he was there, Kami going in for that delay with the instant diary as well as the smoke. But again, on the other side, Rio used up the Trailblazer, figured out the position of Shadow, but he did not know how many people were there on the site. So a very good utility usage, but at the same time, good destruction of the usage as well from Diversity, denying that information. So they're up by one round. They've got the massive
out of
weaponry
stuff.
advantage, and they're still stacking 3 players directly towards the A because they've got the information. There's no one outside the B. The flash will also give that another cue. So Diversity, if they really want to, they can try and invest one more person. Trailblazer directly through the TP, just as I mentioned in the agent select. That's what happened, and they've given the cue that haters need to be ready.
Oh. Could have been a close call for Shadow. Look how low he is. Half of the site, yes, it is under the controls of Slay them with respect, but not complete control as the U-hauls are still left to be checked. They need to be very, very careful. Trying to go in for the plant, and that's where the problem might arise as He-Man finds the frag that he needed the most. Close plant seems to be a bit difficult as second player falls down, might be the third and the fourth one as well. One last remaining player, it's going to be Luffy, who does hit a perfect sheriff shot on to one of the players, but that's all he could do as the trade comes up. Anna goes in for the defusal and the scoreline goes down to a 2-0. Say that it was a good run for Slay them with respect as they were not even able to take down the weaponry. They just were able to take down one single player, and I guess reinvesting onto that one player maybe would be okay because again Shadow does have a judge and Panda has Bulldog to walk around with, so these two weapons, they are so deadly.
Even the classic that he had, he threw it out for a second, so picked up the ghost.
Yeah.
He-Man. He was working with a stinger, so yes, not a massive investment coming in from him, but still it's going to invest into a full shield as well as the ghost. So we'll barely have enough crits for a full buy if in case this round does not go in their favor. That's going to be the flash to push forward as Sazmi tries to go ahead on the back of it. The satchel being used up. Lukisan trying to take the space, but does he anticipate the positioning coming in from Panda? That's the question. No, he does not. Panda gets taken down. He-Man again going in for those blue tilde. Oh my, that flash was so massive, but he himself basically was caught in the flash that came in from the opposite side. Shadow still inside the box though with the judge in hand. He could basically make a massive play. I don't think so if the flash actually caught him or not, because the smokes are now also going to go down, but everyone's just on side. Shadow gets one quickly. Can he double it up? Inside the smoke, is he going to play? He's got 3 people to take care of. Korang also not giving any kind of major audio clues. Everyone's going to go through the TP, slay them with respect. Do not want to deal with the judge at all.
Okay. They don't want to risk it whatsoever. I mean, come on, it just feels so sad, right? Getting taken down to a judge. Nah, man, I would prefer taking a TP and making my way to other side, getting the plant done as well. Oh, but for now, Shadow is into a lot more of problems. He is trying to make his way right behind the back of his enemies. The satchel will help him dodge the Cypher traps, but for how long is the question, right? Because look at that one player who's holding the spawn. Look at that one player holding showers and one... Yeah, he has the camera and they're all around. There's not even one single position that they are not checking onto. But Shadow, as soon as he finds an upgrade onto the weapon, he is able to shut down Buster. It's a 1 versus 2, and if time seems to be his best friend, it is way too doable. But now that they know his positioning, I guess Shadow can just wait back and maybe go in for a save. But once again, slay them with respect. In the full buy round, they've lost 3 big guns, which is going to hurt their economy in the upcoming one.
Definitely will, because Shadow also picked up a weaponry and Reaver Vandal that as well. Really love that skin. Shout out to it. And all the other people would be able to go in for that full buy too. Sazmi. It's just Panda who's going to be sticking to the half shield. Can go in for a full shield though. Does have enough crits. But apart from that, everyone else having a very solid economy. He-Man as well though on the half shield with a Phantom. Just 3 points away from the Rolling Thunder. Shadow a couple of points away from the Showstopper. Sazmi as well from Empress, 2 orbs away. So the economy is going to roll in really well for the side of Diversity. I would be worried if I'm slay them with respect, because they don't seem to be having a lot of those ult orbs at this point. The Trailblazers should give them the idea. They saw every single thing. Stim Beacon out for Luki-san to have that extra mobility. Fault line is going to push anyone playing an Octagon back. But the return fault line comes in as well from Diversity. They do not want to give any space to the members of Slay Them With Respect, who have right now just got the B main control and nothing apart from that.
A lot of util exchange in the initial stages itself, Slay Them With Respect, but still, they are not able to take the site under their control. Now, here's where the problem might just arise, because they have already baited out a lot of util. So they need to be a bit careful. For now, they are still holding towards B long itself. They are waiting for the right opportunity. Smokes will go in. Show is the case with Aftershock. Rolling Thunder. Sorry, it's gonna be the Brim Art coming into the play as well. He-Man is right present. Back to the side itself. He's waiting. Rio finds one onto Panda before he takes down 2-player. Timing could have been a bit different, but this time over it's going to be Trista shuts down He-Man side completely under their control. The orbital strike costed a bit of a problem to them, but that's completely alright. They got the site under their control. Plant is still awaited. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Sasmi, he finds one, but that's all he could do before getting taken down. Chris with a 3k and finally an equalizer. Slay Them With Respect gets the perfect round for themselves. But He-Man, I mean, the orbital strike did come into the play, but again, He-Man somehow survived.
Panda playing in that cheeky off angle. Got a couple of players and he basically dodged every bit of utility that was thrown at him. But again, Rio knew better. He just quickly finished him off, and at the end, there was just absolutely no one who could support on side because they were pushed directly back in the spawn because of that smoke. And Rio was also
Yeah.
playing in the hookah, making sure that there's no one disrespecting the smoke whatsoever. The Trailblazer gonna jump in and catch both of them. Fault line's gonna catch as well. Luffy-san with the stinger right up front as he gets taken down. Flash right onto the face. Panda, he will be finished off as well. And they realize the crossfire. What a jiggle peek coming in from Luffy. He gets 3 already and the showstopper is
Last
up.
player standing. Ace.
My god, he's gonna go for the ace, and that is going to be the ace. First day of the stream, second map, and we get an ace from Luffy-san himself.
Oh my goodness, Luffy. Someone needs to stop this man. Or else he is just gonna, eat you alive. That's what he is doing, man. Come on. And ace to get the round and get an advantage in terms of scoreline as well. Slay them with respect. They do have their showstopper online, but on the other side to counter it, I can see diversity with the Empress, the Seekers, and the showstopper, which can be really difficult to tackle. Now, what has happened in the previous 2 rounds is a lot of aggression and a lot of util being dumped towards the B itself. You see a lot of flashes. The sky flashes coming up. They have the radar flashes as well. They have a lot of flashy agents to play around with. I'm talking about the sides of diversity right now, right? They have a lot of flashy agents to play around with, and that's where they are baiting out a lot of utils towards the B long itself. But after that, it's all about the bloodbath because you do not have your utils anymore. And it's all about the aim duels. Luffy tends to be, excelling the aim duels. Just getting an ace for himself. He's been able to get out those frags, create that space for his team that his team needs the most. And that's where Slay Them With Respect are getting the perfect rounds. Now, in the previous round itself, we completely understand it was a save coming up, but this time over, it's a full buy for both of these teams. It's going to be He-Man only investing onto half shields. Okay, it's Kami as well joining the same party though. But again, will it be another equalizer is the question, because the team who is not able to get this round will again have to go in for a save.
I just love the read that's coming in from Slay Them With Respect. They've been going in for those B executes a couple of times. That now 3 people invested by diversity. That's gonna be double for He-Man right away. What a massive play in Shower itself. And this should give them the cue that the execute was towards the A side. The site will be taken by Slay Them With Respect, but at what
Spike
cost?
planted.
Seekers being invested. They also have got Showstopper, Rolling Thunder. I mean, the only thing that Slay Them With Respect could want would be an over-investment of diversity. The Rolling Thunder goes in, everyone's just gonna push forward into the lamp, Showstopper, Buster catches one, but that is all he could do.
Jeez, mate.
Wrap up. That too a very quick one for diversity, and on the back of the play in Showers itself.
Showers.
That was a nasty one.
Oh, that was cold-blooded, man.
Help
Go
a girl
on.
out, would ya?
They were trying to go in for, the util for information, and onto the back of that, it was a showstopper ready. But what happened was 2 players peeking right straight in front, taking both of the players down, coming up from the sides to Slay Them With Respect. And the plan that they had just did not work in their favor. Look, Kami not yet got the first frag for himself, but yet in the way he's been helping his team, it's just amazing. 3-3 over and over again. A good start for both of these teams. Equalizer in the early stages, but this time over towards the B side. There's no one from the side. Just Slay Them With Respect as Rolling Thunder will be invested towards the A side. Double satchel comes in. Aftershock might just get twisted into a lot of problems, but they are already inside the site, and Buster has found the opening he needed as he finds one onto Shadow. So site is completely open for business. They can go in for the plant as well, and now it's all down to the post-plant situation. Scared.
Empress has been used up, and diversity do not have any of their retake ultimates whatsoever. So they'll have to just brute force their way on the back of the few utilities that are left. No Trailblazer either. They're going to go in for a pop flash play, directly taking the control of the backside. But how are they going to clear this area of lamps? That's going to be the question. A dry peek coming in from Saz with a fault line catches him. Luffy-san falls as well as Panda gets a pick. And that is the opener that they were looking for. But Rio, he wants to push forward. It's again, it's going to be the Aftershock invested yet again. But Panda and Kami double their kills up. All just down to 1 man remaining, and Trace cannot find anything more than one. Sasmi wraps up. I was questioning how diversity would be able to go in for this retake, but the way they were able to quickly maneuver did not force any fight in the lamps. They waited for the
Yeah.
players to come out. That was a great move, taking care of everyone in the site while also keeping one to make sure they're watching the lamps area so that if anyone goes in for any kind of peek, they'll be able to finish them off as well. That was a smart play, a big brain maneuver indeed.
Also, the fact that the time was their best friend out there. Could have been
That is true.
the Spike or the time not being their best friend, but guess what? Nah, that was not the case. Now this time over, can see Luffy waiting towards the B long. It's been a lot of util dump coming towards the B from the sides of Sky, but it's not going to give them any information. Now, they know this is happening again and again, right? They know that there has been a lot of util coming up towards the B long. So this time over, they are waiting for that opportunity to bait out all the utils as much as possible. But the rotations have been called off towards the A side. Now, there's one player towards Showers already, and rest floor trying to make their way from the main itself. They are already deep inside the side. U-Haul is something they need to be a bit careful about, as Kami is right present there. They want to side for themselves, and the spike gets planted as well. Amongst all this happening out there, Rio finds one onto Shadow and gets the number back for his team. So once again, this time over, Diversity can be into a lot of problem as Buster also shuts down Kami, and the numbers are completely falling down for Diversity.
That is indeed true. Quite a util dump being used up directly into the lamps. They want to fight for it, but the Flash catches his own teammate off position. He-Man gets one, was traded quickly. Sasmi as well, finally finding Trace. They've got the lamps control, and they can now force the fight directly in towards the A shot. But no one's giving them any kind of peek. It's a 2v3 situation, and the lurk position that's going to come in directly on towards the side. Korang, he finds the opening. No, he does not. As Sasmi finds the better open. Panda just doubling it up perfectly. But they do not have the time because the lineup came in clutch from Slay them with respect. And they definitely did in this round. The one lineup from the Brimstone landed at the perfect moment. Buster as well holding his angle.
Enemy remaining.
In the last round, you mentioned how Time was the best friend of Diversity. And
Yeah.
in this round, I think they had a breakup.
Yeah, it does seem so though. I mean, yeah, okay, I wouldn't deny that. But slightly with respect, again, say one thing that though the post plan situation did work in their favor, but it was a messy one, right? There was a lot more, I would say, of util dump happening all over, and things could have been messy. So they need to be a bit careful over and over again. B long is the positioning being pincered a lot. Smokes do come up, but the question is, will Luffy disrespect the smokes and try to make his way inside? Because for now there are just two players who are trying to hold the B side, and I can also see one player towards the A. Now, this can be a bit difficult as the rotations are being called off, and I guess they are expecting the players from A to rotate and make their way towards B. But what's happened here is three players from the A side are trying to make their way towards the Shahs and showing a lot more aggression. Oh, wait. What's happening
That's a
here?
good
This
way. That's a very good move.
yeah, it is.
I've
It
got
is
your
actually
trail.
because they can just go back towards, they can just go to the back of their enemies and get them into a problems. But Seekers, yeah, give a lot of information. Luffy is right present. They're still waiting for the opportunity, but this time over, the opportunity has been grabbed by Panda as he shuts Luffy down. The spike gets planted towards the A side, but the post plant, do you think it's gonna work for them?
It seems very difficult as again orbital strike. The positioning was kind of something I would like to question, but again, three players invested towards the lamps. They get one. Gorang was able to take him down, but they have got to go in for the peak as the tap on the spike comes in. Even it's gonna be the chase. Gorang tries to get one more as well, but the wrap up from Rio. Oh my god! You want your IGL to clutch up, and that's the way he does it. Mind-boggling. I thought that Diversity would be able to go in for a flood retake. They should be able to take control, but I still kind of question the positioning of the orbital strike. I think so. It could have been used up directly in the
got you
lamps to
here.
force out the player from their position and then wait for them to probably go in for a peek. And after that, they could just try and retake that space. But it's just a little off, not exactly perfect. But on the other side, a fast hit directly towards the A from the shot of the Trailblazer will clear a lot of space. Should give them the information. Judge in the hand. Luke can get Shadow quickly, and that's the orbital strike on the other side. Kami gets finished off. Flushed out right away into the showers.
Spike
And they've got
planted.
the full control of the side. A double flank coming in though.
be difficult though. Two remaining players from the sides of diversity. What's the plan? Maybe it's just to go in for a save. Economically, it's not that great of a buy that they have for themselves in the upcoming round. So why not just try to go in and save both the weapons? Or maybe try to go in for some exit tracks?
enemy
That the
remaining.
plan is the question, but Buster shuts down He-Man, and it all goes down to Sasmi being the last surviving player, trying to take him down. Free fires from both of these ends. Sasmi is good for one. Yes, he is. But Trist will be going in for the revenge, and this is going to be a team ace. Every single player was able to get one frag in this round for themselves and the round as well. Slay them with respect. This time over in the first half, I do see them, making up for all the mistakes that they were committing in the previous match, and they are looking good, honestly. They've got 2 rounds of advantage as compared to the sides of diversity. And if at all 2 rounds go in the favors of diversity, that's where we can say that it is an equalizer. But other than that, things seem to be working fine.
That is true. I kind of think that still it was a questionable play coming in to try and go in for those
Yeah.
exit frags, because again, if they wanted to make a play there, they were way too late. And if they wanted to go in for a save, that was not the ideal position to be at.
Scout destroyed.
And they lost their main 2 rifles as well, which they could have carried forward in this round, could have potentially helped them out. But as of now, the aggression being changed in, they were trying to fight in for the hookah control. They've got it, but they've lost the entirety of the B main control. So diversity, got to be wary about it. Smoke right in the face. Got the Empress. That is all. Maybe on the back of pick, they can try and get one rifle. Luffy-san has been posted in the exact same angle, but the jiggle coming in from Rio and the incendiary, that is so brilliant. Panda,
Uh-oh.
he'll be taken down no matter what. Aftershock was in his face as well. Luffy-san gets flushed out again. Shadow takes him down with the stinger, gets the weapon upgrade. Phantom in the hand, and now has the entire control of the octagon. But everyone on the other side is just rotating as Buster with the lurk, finds a pick on He-Man. And they've got all the information that they need. The plant will go down.
30 seconds left.
Can Rio find the win? No! What? Kami with a stinger on a
planted.
range like that! It's so much more doable now, Darsh.
Right, it is. But the question is, what are they still expecting? I mean, both of these players, what are they going to do? Still waiting for that right opportunity to strike. In 47 HP down, they need to be careful. And now, the sides of Slay them with respect about the work there. Keeping out towards the showers. Wrong. My goodness. A 3k for Gorang is not what shocks me, but the way he adjusted it, I mean, I want to see that again in that replay, man. Come on. Took both of the players down who were standing right next to each other, not even in the line of fire. Look at that. Both of them came out. Korang
Exactly.
hitting those perfect shot. Gets Slay them respect into an advantage, and the hopes of a 6-all equalizer goes in vain as Slay them with respects gets the 7th one on board scared.
The money is almost about to get capped. Trist with
Yeah.
8.3k. Gorang as well with 7.3. Rio with 7.3. He'll lose a bunch of it,
I
but
mean,
they're now investing the attack sided op.
imagine having no place to keep the amount of creds you have for yourself. Ah, good feeling, isn't it?
And yeah, it's amazing feeling, and also it's not a humongous score difference. It's just a 7-4. But
Yep.
it's only the way that they have been building up this lead, building up the rounds, and looking at their ult economy. Rio just 1 away from the Seekers, Luffy-san 2 away from Showstoppers. So they should be able to probably farm a couple of orb maybe, and that's why they want to take the shower control this time around, while a proactive play being made from diversity directly in
Spikes here.
the B
I've got your
main.
track.
They seem to be aware of the positioning. Gorang gets taken down instantly, and the overheal is going to come in for Stasmi too. Seekers being used up should give them some opening on towards the air. As the flash goes in, should be able to blind the people playing in directly towards the CT, as Luffy-san was able to take Stasmi down, making sure that the push coming in from the from the B, my bad, is not going to do anything.
Satchel out.
As he gets the spike quickly, runs away, uses the satchel to boost himself up as well. Wants to go in and take control of the site as quickly as possible, because Shadow is worried about that trip. But Keyman still owns his angle, and a 5 Luffy comes in, takes Trish down. The paint shell should push him backwards, but that is a massive opening that Diversity needed as the retake is now coming in. Players just quickly flooding. Luffy-san needs to find a pick with the OP, whips the shot, and that's going to be Kami moving forward. Gets the spike down on his face. Rio goes in for a trade only for He-Man to take him down. That's a 5-7 we end the things at.
Oh, could have been an 8-4 though. Look at these positioning. Look at the hold from the sides of Kami and He-Man. Could have been one frags for both of the players, but it was He-Man shutting both of them down. Rio, yes, he was good for one, but that's all he could get as there were a lot of position to be checked onto. And that's where we go down to a 7-5 half, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is very interesting because in the previous match itself, we were talking about a 7-5 where, you know, Slay Them with Respects were 2 rounds down as compared to Diversity, but this time over they haven't it wanted. So again, they need to get the pistol round to maintain this lead, because if they get the pistol round, they are having the next one for themselves, and that's where they might have a great lead of 4 rounds in comparison to Diversity. So this can be a great boost that they required, but will that be possible is the question, because again, side switches, you know, just affects very strongly Scared.
Plus, it's the map of Bind, and you can argue it's kind of attack centric, because if in case the enemy takes control of the B side, it becomes so very hard to retake that space. And look at the flank that is coming in from Rio. Wait a second. He can find a perfect timing. Every member just seemed to be so unaware. No, he's not going in towards the shower. He'll be able to catch Panda off position. And now he wants to go in back for the rotation. Shadow will catch him. Quick trades coming in succession. They should be able to flood in directly towards the site, as everyone on the back of that information was running towards the A. It's going to be the plant. And in the words of Aggressive himself, we'd rather go for a 4-man save than to go in for a retake on the B side. But it's a pistol down, so they should be able to quickly flood in as the flash goes in. But already caught one of his own teammates, Incendiary, to stop any kind of advance coming in directly from the green box. Got to re-clear the hookah as well. And Gaurang, my goodness, he dry peeks into the hookah. Though there is no one there for the punish, but it gives a lot of information to people into towards the garden. That's going to be a trade. Quickly, Shadow gets all of them. Kami doubles it up as well. Luffy-san was only able to take care of Shadow. What a pistol round for Diversity. You called it, Darsh, and you got it.
I mean, what do you mean to say, right? Everything I'm saying is gonna happen? Then I have already repeated myself saying that I want to witness the map of Breeze. So, you never know. I did not jinx it for Diversity though. But let's see what happens. 6-1 for the sides of Diversity. And now this is a high sign of an equalizer. Look at Shadow with 13 for himself. He has a judge with 1 Marshal and 3 Spectres being invested completely on full shields. But on the other side, Slay Them with Respect, they will be sticking to, you know, the classics that they have for themselves. 1 player towards B, all 4 towards A. Now, this is very interesting, because even if they find 1 or 2 frags in return of trades, they can actually upgrade the weaponries that they have for themselves. The paint shells goes in. Shadow be trying to go in for the double satchel, but they have a lot of information with the help of
Wait,
the race
Gaurang,
for
reloaded.
now.
Shadow. Oh, charge in the hand gets too quickly. Luffy-san with a headshot of Classic itself. Panda now trying to hold his position. Will be flushed right away, and that's the weaponry upgrade. Spectre being taken. They've lost the control of the TP, so everyone quickly moving forward. Now Sasmi is the only one standing, 58 HP. Can he find the pick? Yes, he absolutely will, and he's going to heal himself up as well. Back to 100 with a charge on the pace. Rich finishing him off. But he did his job, because it's a 2v2 situation. And they've also planted Spike. Both of them are directly playing in for the hookah. Reposition though coming in from Kami. The foots should be heard. This is a situation where Slay Them with Respect could try and isolate that duel 2v1, but no! He-Man with the Marshal in hand gets Buster right away. That's going to be Kami wrapping things up. My goodness. I thought they would hear Kami's footsteps, but they just did not. That could have been
was a very
everything,
close
but
call.
yeah.
Way too close for anything right now, but I feel reinvestments will be made from the sides of Diversity, as only 2, you know, Spectres were remaining in the previous round. So again, they do not want to stick back to their full-fledged bonus, but over and over, if I talk about Slay Them with Respect this time, they do have their full buy coming up. So Things can be a bit different. Double satchel with Judge. Will that be possible is the question. No is the answer as Luffy tends to shut down on the back of Buster out there. Flash seems to be perfect, and so is the case with the other utils. My goodness, Gorong finds one on the Sesame, but
Oh my
Panda
God.
shuts Gorong down. Randomly, out of nowhere, Gorong is still thinking on what exactly happened. 3 versus 3 numbers have equalized sight. I would say still not completely under their control as Buster peeks out and shuts down He-Man.
planted.
Kami will be going in for that plant, but Panda is still holding showers, so they need to be a bit careful before going in for the post-plant situation as the positioning is a bit difficult. Kami is still holding into a very close positioning. Can peek out through the smoke and find one is able to do that. Kami shuts Buster as well. No, could have been a trade from Buster, and now it all goes down to one last remaining player from the side to slay them with respect. Will he be able to clutch out is the question, because it is a full buy for them, but this time over Kami finds the third one as well. A full buy being denied to the sides to slay them with respect, where they got the first frag. The second one as well, they had the numbers, but it just did not work in their favor.
The way he got that timing on Trist, that was just nasty. And then even Buster falling. That was a full 180-degree turn coming in from Kami. My God. If that is not gonna break the back of Slay Them with Respect, I don't know what will, because it's also got the orbital strike on the back of it. And they've got a showstopper. So perfect utilities for the next round. They also have the weaponry advantage. The economy is gonna go out of control. Everything working out so very well for Diversity, but I really did not anticipate them to be able to pull that round off. Looking at the weaponry,
Yeah.
I wouldn't exactly call it was scrappy. They had a couple of Guardians in the mix, a couple of Spectres, and a Phantom in the hands of Sasmi. And that's where Reina always shines with those first duels, quick dismisses, quick devours. But that one decision being made by the Brim, going into the TP and then being flushed out with the Guardians and the spam, that was the place wherein they lost their flank and every single bit of utility after that. But either ways,
Yeah.
let's see if Slay Them with Respect would be able to pull this one off or not.
Seems to be a bit difficult, honestly, because not really sure on how good their economy will be at this point of time. Slowly and steadily trying to make a move towards the A site. Diversity does have a plan, and that is to find the first frag. Luffy gets taken down with a judge in hand. Shadow gets
Scout
the
is
U-Haul control for himself. Gorang is right present in the nearby quarters towards a good positioning. But the orbital strike gets invested onto missing all the shots. Shadow and Kami, they double it up all together. Buster is the last one to survive. Finds one onto Kami. I don't think that's enough as the flash comes in. Buster good for one. But that's all he could find before getting taken down to He-Man. 2 gun being dropped. That's about it for this round as Diversity move up and find another for themselves. We talked about Slay Them with Respect having 4 consecutive rounds, but 4 rounds of lead. But look at where Diversity is. 4 consecutive rounds. They have an advantage as well going down to the second half. 2 rounds of advantage that we did talk about, which was in the hands of Slay Them with Respect before coming to the second half. So this is already a sign for the sides of Slay Them with Respect to re-strategize and think of what exactly is going wrong, or I feel it would be way too late for anything.
This is going in for those quick side executes as well, not being able to hold the after-plant position. Oh my God! Shadow missed the showstopper on Buster! And it's got the noodles left available now. He-Man with the aftershock is just gonna push everyone back. The Lamb's control has already been taken by Diversity. Noodles have being invested, so Buster will have all the information, but the flash that comes in and on the back of it, Sasmi! That was just an outstanding play. And they've got the entirety of the side control, only waiting for Luffy-san, who's just got a classic in hand. We talk about 5 consecutive rounds. Oh, wait a second. He gets 1. Nothing more should be given to him afterwards. Picks up a judge. 21 HP, goes in for a sergeant play, but does not look at the lambs. That's where He-Man's gonna strike from. 10 and 7. That's the 5th round in a row, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's That's something I was just about to say. And if we're talking about 5 rounds in a row, well, guess what, Sked? This is the 6th one in the row. Because before switching the sides as well, right? The last round was up against, but what's going on? Because the way diversity has been performing on the back of those perfect utils, things are not looking good for Slay Them with Respect. Consecutively losing rounds again and again and not even having one single in the second half. No, that's not a great sign. It just can be so difficult. 3 rounds of differentiate already, 2 steps away from the match point, and I mean, I would say the tournament. No, it's the match point, the series point, at least for now. So they need to be very careful. 2 of the ultimates available either side. Slay Them with Respect with the showstopper, diversity with the Empress for themselves. But this time over, diversity, they have a plan. They're split all across towards all the entrances possible. They are waiting for that right opportunity. They're expecting someone from the sides of Slay Them with Respect to actually push further or make a mistake so that they can capitalize onto it. But I guess Slay Them with Respect, they are gonna wait. Towards the hookah is where the problem might just arise. Rio good for 1. Yes, he is. Shuts down Shadow, though he was stunned. Is able to find the initial frag for himself. Diversity does not have the numbers this time over, and this can be a great advantage for Slay Them with Respect. Scared.
Seekers were invested as well to gain the information. They're still investing 3 people towards the A with
30
Cypher
seconds
setup
left.
as well. So B seems to be the right call for diversity, wherein they can try and go in for that flood. But Gorong still got his smokes up, and you also have to deal with the Rio and his utilities. Sazmi can go in with that flash play coming in quickly, but Gorong, his position is unnoted. He gets one quickly, but will be traded as well. Kami shuts him down. 12 more seconds to go in for the plant. Chris, and he finds an opener. The paint shells along with the showstopper. Sent in, he gets a pick. Luffy-san, a massive one. But the Rolling Thunder being invested to push anyone from the CT backwards with the incendiary. No way Buster can move forward. The wall bank shots, he's trying to connect a few of them. But HP not the best friend for Luffy-san, and over! The pulse goes, He-Man gets one quickly. It also rotates back, 17 HP. Can he find the pick? No is the answer. He-Man shuts him down. And with that, the hopes of Slay Them with Respect to go for a full buy in the next round.
My goodness. I might be too early to say this, but it just seems to be impossible now. The only problem here, Scared, is the economy. Because Slay Them with Respect, after losing consecutive rounds, it's impossible for them to have a full buy in this one. They'll be sticking to Sheriffs and Stinger. The only thing that can change this is a Thrifty. If they're not able to pull off a Thrifty, the next round will be their last full buy round, as Diversity will have the match point, and that's what they need to be really scared about. Going down to the second half, things are just a nightmare, at least for now, for the sides of Slay Them with Respect. And the way Diversity is just playing mind games, man, oh man, hats off, man, hats off for now. Again, look at Kami. He's waiting towards the B long for someone to slowly and steadily walk in his crosshair. Does he know that this time it's not going to be the case? Early on rotations, maybe A side is what they are trying to get for themselves. But will they have a good information about 3 players holding the ace site? I mean, it's all so calm, but little do they know that this is just the calm before the storm, as all the utils and all the ultimates gets dumped right and forth, and the first one to fall down is going to be Rio. First frag comes into their favor. Not looking that great. Seekers is going to give them a lot more of information. The flashes are perfect. Shadow finds one onto Buster. The U-Haul is completely under control. It's not yet, as Luffy is able to take Shadow down. 4 versus 2. Rotation already towards the B side, and they can get an easy plant. And the post plant, if I talk about the post plant, I guess it's very difficult because again, Diversity is going to have a great number. As Luffy gets taken down, it all goes down to Gorong and a Sheriff that he has for himself. 4 perfect headshots or nothing. Nothing is the answer as he gets taken down. Match point, series point, ladies and gentlemen, for the sides of Diversity, 12-7, and maybe a last full buy for the sides of Slay Them with Respect.
I don't even think so they have credits for a full buy because they invested in for the scraps in this one. So nah, they're still gonna have it. Yeah, Luffy's are invested for a Stinger, so I had an idea they might be going in for a semi-investment. But the question is, do they have the full set of utilities? They don't have any ultimates to work with apart from just Risk being one orb away from his Rolling Thunder. On the other side, there's Empress, Kami just 2 points away from his own orbital strike. So it could be possible that Slay Them with Respect would want to play in for the orbs, but they're not making any kind of aggressions. Cypher set up directly towards the B, 3 people stacking A. The Trailblazer clearing the entire showers. So that's one information. Now they've got to go in for the re-clear as well. Slay Them with Respect, slowly creeping ahead. Kami, his position is noted with that flash, but it does not give an idea as to how many people are there. So Slay Them with Respect would still have to play it slow and smart. They're waiting, both the teams, just waiting for any kind of move, any maneuver, waiting for the punish. The flash goes in along with the Reyna layer. Ufisan with the paint shells was able to stop that push, but everyone's just quickly anchoring towards the B site, and that is where the Cypher trip setup is. The flash should reveal the information.
Careful now.
Kami's the one who's having the spike. This one trip, if it's not destroyed, it could be everything. Camera was taken care of. Kami's gonna go in for that smoke as well. Will catch the orb. 1 point away from the orbital strike. Could be lethal, but Rio inside the
30
smoke.
seconds
Goes in
left.
for a proactive play. Doubles it up as well.
Down B.
That trip, Kami gets taken down. No more orbital strike in this round, my friend. The Prita in the hand. He needs to make a play. Spike is nowhere to be found. And Sazmi has been taken down as well. And that off shot is gonna connect.
remaining.
But the Rolling Thunder invested with the Luffy-san on that lug. And this round should be done and dusted
10
unless
seconds
Shadow
left.
makes a play in the next 10 seconds. And that should not happen. He's gonna save the orb.
I
What
have
is
the
he?
spike.
No. Still wants to make a play. 2 more seconds, though it's quite questionable. Spam coming in through that box, but they should be able to wrap him up. And Luffy-san comes in at the perfect opportunity. We thought this might be over, but not yet, says Slay Them with Respect.
Oh my god. It's just another lifeline for the sides of Slay Them with Respect. Series point already for diversity. A lot has happened in this round itself. But looking at the economy boost for the sides of diversity, I feel they still have, good amount of full buy and also can invest in the upcoming round even if they lose this one. But on the other side, everything is on stake. Look at that one Bulldog and the half shield being invested. They need this round. They are in desperate need of this round at this point because that's all that they have, and overtime is the only thing that can save the sides of Slay Them with Respect getting eliminated from this tournament, or else it's done for. So they need to be careful every single step that they take. They never know on what's their way. This time over, diversity is taking it way too slow. They made mistakes in the previous round, and they know that if they repeat it again, this just can be a sign for Slay Them with Respect to go ahead and take as many rounds as they want. So playing for picks, maybe trying to find an entry frag, trying to maybe divert, but Korang, super clever onto the other side, finds the opening his team needed, gets the number back, and as soon as he finds the frag, look how he repositions himself. He's at a safer spot, pretending as if nothing happened. But onto the other side is where the util might just come in. But now diversity, they're still taking it way too slow. They've lost a very important player, so they need to be really careful. Orbital strike comes into the play, so is the case
30
with
seconds
the
left.
stanza as well. The flag also comes into the play. Luffy is stuck in no position, but still he manages to find one for one trade for 3-time over. Korang finds a 3K, shuts down Panda, gets the 9th one on board, and is able to still stop the sides of diversity from ending it all here and here. Scared? I'm just feeling what your name says right now.
So
Here.
the util dumped directly towards the A shot because the control was still in the hands of Gorang for the showers. They had an idea that the push might come directly from the shot, so they made sure to invest the paint shells to delay that push along with the incendiary. And they had an idea that the orbital strike is available on the other side, so no one was playing in lamps. They all were playing just on towards the side. That was a brilliant decision. But now the showstopper being invested. Frontline catching himself. He's gonna send it, but catches absolutely no one. Patience as well to try and buy himself some more time. Korang, he's gonna be caught in. No, he does not get caught in the move board, but will be caught by the judge shot coming in. Kami with the clutch gets Rio as well. No more initiating
Spike
utilities for Sky at least, but still have breach on the other side. Trist only on 22 HP. 15 more seconds for his fault line to be up, but it's a 3v4, 3v5 retake.
One enemy
Almost seems
remaining.
now impossible, and that should wrap things up. Shadow and Sashmi as well.
Attackers
Will we
win.
finish on off last three players? Buster gets taken down, and that game has been won by Diversity. It was close, but not as much as the previous one. But what a way to close things out.
Oh man, definitely. Yes, Diversity are the champions of this best of three series, I would say, and they are qualified here for the next, stages. But man, slay them with respect. High expectations, high hope. Again, looking at the experienced players, but nah,
Yeah.
there were a lot of mistakes made. I would say rather than mistakes, it was a lot more of the communication gap that got these players into a
Possible.
lot more problems. And every single time they did try to maybe do something, or in the first half try to get the side for themselves, trying to defend it, but
Mhm.
everything was just falling apart. This time over as well, uh, we saw a few situations where Diversity did not have the numbers for themselves, but still they were able to get the side, they were able to go in for the plant. All that the sides of Slay Them With Respect got in the second half were 2 rounds, just 2 rounds. I mean, imagine a team going in the second half and getting 5 consecutive rounds. 7-5 half is where it all ended in the first half itself, where Slay Them With Respect had a great advantage. But going down to the second half, everything just turned over. And as I said, right, it is just another fairy tale or a nightmare. And for Slay Them With Respect, it definitely was the worst possible nightmare.
That is true, but a fairy tale for Diversity indeed,
Yeah.
because on the back of their attacking gameplay, they made sure that they were able to get those additional utilities up on the perfect places. They utilized their ultimates as well perfectly, because we saw them investing the orbital strike as well. If I'm not wrong, it was the 21st round. And then once they lost that, they were able to invest in the showstopper. Yeah, the showstopper was in the 21st round. In the 20th round, they invested the orbital strike into the lamps. But I love the adjustment that was coming in from Slay Them With Respect. It eventually just panned out in a situation where in round number 19, the orbital strike was invested from the defenders, which eventually gave the side of Diversity a way to move in the teleporter, going towards the other side, and it eventually stopped any kind of retake as well. It was probably what pushed them up onto that 12th round. But honestly, on the back of those continuous shower pushes that were coming in and the utils that were being used from the sky, Diversity adjusted over that fact quickly, and they made sure that even if the sky just dumps in the utility, Rio goes in for the flash or the trailblazer directly from the octagon, he should not gather as much intel as normally it would. So that one readjustment coming in, and with the spike not being hard invested onto one side, that is what gave them those rooms and the leeway to move on towards those side, get those rounds, and quickly get the game in their pocket. But all in all, a great game indeed, and a heartbreak for Slay Them With Respect.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be true. But Diversity, man, oh man, what an amazing match, and what an amazing show they put up today. Like,
True.
everyone is just in shock and speechless, I would say, just the way I am. I did see He-Man as a new player, I would say, on the server. I mean, at least for me,
That is true.
because yeah, I did see Panda playing before. I saw Shadow as well, heard about Ragnarok, but this time He-Man just came out as a big packed surprise for everyone over, and just tend to surprise us all every single time. Also, looking forward on what the scoreline is, because we are not going to witness the map of Breeze anymore, which I was really excited about, and hence it is also proved square that
Yeah.
whatever I'm saying is not happening eventually, because yeah, we are not witnessing Breeze. So it's going to be a 2-0 victory for the sides of Diversity. So why not quickly have a look on the scoreboards and check on what exactly has happened in the overall map of Bind. I can see Shadow with 23. Oh, that's Shadow with 23, Sasmi with 17, Kami 15, He-Man 18, and Panda with 12. Every single player tends to step up. But look at the amount of assist coming up from the sides of Slay Them With Respect. Also, just for a quick update, Luffy is equals to Bad Love, Bad
Yeah.
Love is equals to Luffy. So yeah, he's up with 19 kills, but Gorhang with 11 assists, Rio with 12, Trist with 17. My goodness.
That was indeed a beautiful match coming out there. But yes,
Yeah.
again, a good show being put up in front of us by both the raises from both the teams, with ACS of 326 and 271 respectively. But it all just eventually came down to which team is able to utilize on all of the utils being dumped by their team. And that is
Yeah.
where we saw the side of diversity shine. On the back of Panda, on the back of He-Man, and also investing Reyna in this map. I mean, that's what we normally see Paper X something do in the VCT compositions. But this time it was Sasmi, and the way he fulfilled those shoes on the Reyna, the way he was able to just win out those duels, get the opportunity and get the opening to his team. That was just outstanding. Yes, Shadow was going directly towards the side with all of his utilities. He was just being a nuisance to the size of slay them with respect. But we're gonna have and look in more detail about Shadow. Looking at the first bloods,
Again.
he's got 4 of them. Headshot percentage, I mean 16%. He's just sticking onto that 116% headshot ratio.
He's also, sticking to that MVP title over and over again. In the previous
Yeah,
match
that is true.
itself, this time over again, Shadow is being crowned as the MVP, coming up from the sides of diversity though. 23 kills and also 4 first bloods. I remember maps play, he had 6 first bloods. This time over, it is gonna be 4. And the double duelist composition, it just worked wonders for them. On the other side, if I talk about the side, just like them with respect, they did go in for one sentinel pick. Alongside that, they did have
Mhm.
the double initiator, a good composition coming up. But at the end of the day, the second half was not something we, them, or anyone expected. Just 2 rounds in the second half, and it was all about diversity every single time. Does not matter if they had the numbers for themselves, does not matter on how much util that they dumped in. It was just diversity. For at least for the initial 5 or 6 rounds, diversity showed us some amazing plays.
Well, that's just the raw execution power coming in from their side, because
Yeah.
the execute highly depends on the coordination of the team, and those set plays need to be on point. The timing needs to be perfect with the sky flashes that were being dumped in, with all the raise utilities as well, which Shadow was using when he entered the side. I mean, even in the last round itself, we saw him quickly pulling out the showstopper. He went in with the double satchel in the side. He was not able to find a pick, and utilizing the smoke of his opponent, he just threw out a paint shell and also used a boom bot to make sure that he is staying alive. He is being the nuisance that he needs to be, while in that entire duration, his team was just able to move forward, scale up behind him, and were also able to take all of the space that he got his teammates. So it does not matter if you're getting a lot of value out of your showstopper, if you're getting 3 kills out of it, even if you don't get any. As a duelist, the main job is always to try and be a nuisance. Try and make sure that your opponent are not focusing their crosshairs on that choke point, but on towards your teammates. But all in all, that was a great match. Just as we mentioned time and time again, this day was the starting, and thus we still have quite a few more days of the streams left. So all the matches are going to
Yeah.
be super exciting.
Yep, that's just true. And in the first day itself, we did see an ace coming up. We also saw a 2-0 scoreline. So imagine what is going to happen in the second day, because there are a lot
True.
more new teams to be unfolded on stream. So you guys need to tune in tomorrow as well to see all these amazing actions happening live here, because we are land very soon in the upcoming days, and we will let you know about how can you reach the venue as well. But before that, Sked, before we say a goodbye to the audience, is there anything you would like to share about our amazing sponsors?
Just really want to say that I'm gonna get the cyber art chair
Yeah.
quickly for myself, because I need to take a seat after watching that game with the Yak Fiber internet. I will make sure to have some amazing net with myself, and the retail partner Bajaj Electronics is also going to supply with some good accessories to make sure to check them out as well. And on the other side, the PC gaming partner for us is going to be Elite Hubs and Zotac Gaming, and they've got some amazing monitors and PCs. But on the other side, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. You were watching AMD Game Zone 2024 presents the Arena Championship by Comic Con India and the Esports Club, powered by Alienware. This is me, Scared Yet, signing off on the desk with me, Darshita. Make sure to tune in tomorrow and follow everyone on their socials. See ya and have a great evening.
One.